It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. We are halfway through the week, which means we are closer to Super Bowl week. And the Kings have a game against the Miami Heat tonight. And the Miami Heat, not only are they dealing with losing 7 straight games, now all of a sudden, thanks to Kendrick Perkins, they are dealing with trade rumors about one Jimmy Butler. Is this the most unique situation, Chris Watkins, to go to the finals, add people, right? Add a scorer like Terry Rozier, and now all of a sudden, now this isn't going to happen, but there are odds because there are odds on everything.
Of course.
And now the conversation is, could Jimmy Butler get moved before the trade deadline? Why the Heat would do that? Jimmy Butler has said he loves the Heat.
Yeah.
He wants to retire a member of the Miami Heat. I don't know how we got here, but we're here now.
I don't either. I have no idea how we got here. I woke up this morning, I see the odds, and then I'm like, all right, what is there like an article that was written?
Yeah.
Was Jimmy Butler upset in the press conference yesterday? And it seems like Kendrick Perkins pretty much started all of this. So I don't know how legitimate it is, but if Jimmy Butler is even remotely on the trade block, we're going to talk about it later, but I think that's something that the Kings definitely need to kick the tires on. We'll talk about it later, but I unless you want to do it now, we can start the show spicy if you want.
No.
I just think that it's really crazy. You're right. How we got here. Maybe there's some weird domino effect from them not getting Damian Lillard to this point that we're at now, but it feels a bit extreme because Miami was the 8th seed going into the playoffs last year. Of course, they're not going to be okay with that every single year, but I would use that and say, hey, you know, that's proof that we just need to make the tournament. And then once we make the playoffs, we'll deal with that as we may. We'll take an opponent at a time. But I think that Heat team is incredibly dangerous. And if you're going to blow it up and trade Jimmy, I don't really know what Miami's future would be at that point.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. We have our Kings roundtable that will be at 12:30. We're back to our normal time.
Right.
We will have Brendan Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli joining us.
Both of
them joining us to talk about just that, Jimmy Butler and also the other trades. And at this point, I mean, Chris, we do this every week. We check our dates every week here. It is now the last day of January.
Hey, we finally made it. We survived.
It's January 45th.
Yes.
And January is finally over.
My goodness.
Nate Littlefield behind the glass, by the way. Nate doing a great job already, as
killing
always.
It, Nate. You're doing so good.
9 days left for the trade deadline.
Yeah.
It's over, right? There's not going to be a move. No, it's over now. We know that now.
No, what are you talking about?
We know that now.
What are you talking about?
It's over now.
What are you talking about? How is it over?
It's over now.
Are you doing a bit?
I'm not doing a bit.
Are you serious? Because you know
now.
it gets crazy hours.
This is
like Sabonis was traded hours before, right, Chris? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was the day before.
But this is a team that already has that chemistry. Who is the piece that you're removing at this point?
The same pieces that you were removing 2 weeks ago.
Harrison?
Yes.
Herder?
Yes. Those are the names that you're going to throw out there for sure. Like
but listen to me. What if they continue to win? What if they go 7-0 on this road trip? You don't think that affects anything?
It probably would. No, if they go 7-0 on the road trip, yeah, that would. I could definitely see how they would say let's maybe run this out and see what we got. But
now let me ask you a question.
You go from a 7-game losing streak from a 4-game losing streak to a 4-game win streak. I don't think that should change.
But let's stick with 7. Okay. Okay. Let's stick with 7. Chris Watkins.
Yeah.
Knowing what you feel about this team.
Yeah.
You are one of the biggest Kings fan I know.
Yeah.
Would you lose the battle to win the war? What I'm asking is, if 7-0 puts them in a position to where they might not make a move, would you rather them go 5-2?
I guess.
Wow.
But I don't think that they like. Yeah, I mean, I think they have to make some sort of move. Maybe,
but I'm saying if they go 7-0, I don't know that.
I think they'll still tinker on the side. I think if anything, that would say,
Kessler,
hey,
Edwards,
maybe actually we do have a real shot at this thing. Like maybe even that says let's be more aggressive in trying to get a rotation piece. Maybe you could argue it's over for the big deal, like talking about the Kings moving on from or moving for Jimmy Butler. That can be something like those talks could possibly be over, but even then, I would tell you it's not over until quite literally 12 o'clock on Thursday, because things change real quick. People pick up the phone. Sometimes people change their mind. Sometimes people bluff for a week leading into the deadline, and then all of a sudden,
it's definitely a no for me.
Hey,
dog.
man,
That's me right now.
I'm like, it's happening, man. It's something's going to happen. I mean, even if it doesn't happen from the Kings, things are going to happen around this trade deadline. There's way too many teams that need to make moves. That I mean, there's no way they will stand pat and do nothing. I mean, the Kings might not make big moves, but it's going to get active around the deadline.
We have a big conversation coming up about Joel Embiid and this new rule with the amount of games that you're allowed to miss to still be eligible for awards like MVP, things like that. Now, Joel Embiid gets injured or re-injured, but I guess they're saying it's a new injury last night against the Warriors. And it's not just the Kings that are dealing with this. You know, it reminds me of something, Chris. You know, we love talking about school on this show. And when I love it because I'm done with it now, right? I wouldn't love if I still had to go to school. But there's just something to be said about when your back is against the wall, all of a sudden you start trying a little bit harder. Of
course.
Right? And then the teacher says, man, Alan, if you had done this
all year I've heard that one before.
You wouldn't be struggling to get this B- or C+. You would have had a B+ or an A-.
Right.
Now, we see what Harrison Barnes went, and it's not that it's new for Harrison Barnes to trade discussions, but maybe it just got real. All of a sudden, this stuff gets real, and Harrison Barnes sees a 7-game road trip coming up, and he balls out. Right, he starts to ball out, okay? So Harrison Barnes has, 230 balls, and then he has over 20 piece, no legs, all wings, and we're thinking, wow, where has this Harrison Barnes been? Now let's take it to the Bay. And you have Andrew Wiggins last night against no Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. He said he looked fine. He didn't really look great
not look fine.
all game long prior to injury. Now
jump.
you have Warriors fans dealing with the same thing with a name that we just brought up yesterday. Andrew Wiggins drops 23, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and Warrior fans are thinking, where has this been?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say these guys are just coasting. I can't say that, and it's not fair, but what a coincidence.
Yeah, but I would say if I were a GM, that would make me want to trade you more.
Sure.
I would say it shouldn't. This is exactly the problem. It shouldn't take your back being against the wall for you to perform like this. We paid you that contract so that you would always or semi-consistently perform like this. And if it takes your back being against the wall for you to perform at your highest level, that's not a guy I want on my championship or team that I think has championship aspirations. So if that is true, if even a semblance of that is true, like if I were Monty McNair or Mike Dunleavy, I would say definitely buy. Like I'm absolutely picking up the phone because I don't want that kind of guy in my locker room, and I don't think Harrison Barnes is a bad guy at all. I mean, I think
I'm not saying they're consciously doing it. I'm saying it could even be
a fight or flight kind of thing.
You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, I don't want to.
Right.
I don't necessarily want to leave. I got to do something. Yeah.
It's a possibility for sure, and if that's what it is, I mean that's fine. It's just you have to also know as a GM, it's not going to last.
Right. Like, it's human nature.
Exactly.
Is what I'm saying.
You can live on fight or flight for a while, but you're not going to be able to survive off it for the rest of the year or the rest of the season. So if you're a GM, that's another thing too, is you can't get caught up in the day-to-day. You can't get caught up in HB having a good week. You can't get up in Andrew Wiggins finally coming out of his slump and hoping, okay, maybe this is how we turn things around for the Warriors. You can't get caught up in that. You have to have a wider view. And of course, you have to always take in new information as it comes. But if you were definite on we need to trade Harrison Barnes, one good week shouldn't completely flip your opinion. Now, if you were on the fence about it, if you were Monty McNair and saying, Harrison's our best trade asset, but I still really want to keep a good collection of forwards, and he has this good play, maybe I could see how that would take him off of the block or make you a little bit more hesitant to deal with him. But I don't know, from all the indications that we've gotten all year long, more so in terms of how active the Kings have been in trade talks, to me, it seems like they made up their minds that they were going to ship off, or at least try and ship off one of HB or Herter this year.
Yeah, honestly, I would put it in the bucket of it's just human nature. When your back is against the wall, you're going to tap into something that you maybe don't tap into. And it's very similar to a contract year. A contract year, you see guys ball out, then after the contract, they don't do that. Andrew Wiggins last night, 8 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range, 6 for 6 from free throw. And if you've ever watched Andrew Wiggins shoot a free throw, that might be the most impressive stat. Plus 18 on the night, 23 points. And your boy, your Bizzle.
Yeah, JK.
What you got to say?
Yeah.
11 for 19, 1 for 3 from three-point range, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 26 points.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want him. Here's Chris's problem: 2 assists. And by the way, Andrew Wiggins had 3 steals. Kuminga had 3 steals. Kuminga had 7 rebounds.
That's great. That's
the most impressive stat.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think 3 steals is incredibly impressive. That's the kind of stuff I think Jonathan Kuminga needs to bring every night, is just deflections, some steals. If he can get some blocks as well, and it's the other stuff. I don't think, his scoring is great, but I don't think his future in this league is 26 point per game or 25, 24 point per game scorer. I feel like his biggest impact is going to be made doing everything else.
Real quick, we have to go to break, but do you even think the Warriors would do business with the Kings and vice versa?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I think the Warriors would do business with the Kings. I feel like the Kings would be hesitant to do. I think at the end of the day, if the deal is good, it'll get done. But I think that there's a lot more risk involved with the Kings messing up a trade with the Warriors and the Warriors messing up a trade with the Kings, if that makes sense. Just from like the outside perception. Of
right.
Like you got fleeced by the Warriors.
You got to stay away from. Yeah, you got to stay away from Andrew Wiggins. I'm sorry. We've both been there. I don't know, Nate, what your grades were, but we've all been there when it's okay. Nate says he has good grades. Good for you. What were your SAT scores? We've all been there where it's just all right. Yeah, we got this final coming up. I'm going to cram and study, and maybe you find a way. And the teacher says, wow, where has this Andrew Wiggins been all semester long? Yes. Okay, now that you gotta make sure that you're eligible to play or whatever it is, now you level up. So I think it's the same thing with Harrison Barnes. I don't think you can fall for it, unfortunately. And I really do like Harrison Barnes. We all do as a person and a player. But if they do go 7-0 on this road trip, it's going to be very hard, because that would make them 8-0, right? And that would, and I know we're going to check in on Tyrese Halliburton, and you got the Bulls and you got the Cavs. If you take care of business, because this is going to be a hungry Heat team. Yes. This is going to be a Heat team that I think you are digging, and you got to deal with Jimmy Butler. 7 straight. That is just, we heard from Terry Rozier yesterday. That's unacceptable. Yeah. This is Heat culture. Yeah. Okay. Udonis Haslam might come out of retirement and say, hey, man, we got to figure this thing out. He might give them a pump up, a pump up speech before the game.
I don't want Jimmy Butler either having y'all gonna trade me game.
Oh my
where
goodness.
He's just worked up and he's like, okay, go ahead and trade me now.
Yeah.
Drops 45.
Right. Who would it be instead of Tobias Harris this time?
Oh my God.
I don't even know who the Heat would be getting back. Harrison Barnes over me? Harrison Barnes over me? All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we discuss the NBA's new 65 game limit rule and how that's affecting the future of the NBA. Tyrese Halliburton had some things to say about it. Sam Amick, friend of the station, wrote a piece about it as well. Why is this happening? We also, 12:30, have the Kings roundtable. You don't want to miss that. Prop talk later on in the show. And we made the rounds yesterday about some of this A's situation. We will follow up on that. Chris has his A's hat on, looking real good. I'm a more of a flat brim guy, but a nice curve, that's good too. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
Sactown Sports. Call or text 916-339-1140.
Is the NBA's new 60-game limit for postseason awards bad for the league? We have Sam Amick, who wrote a piece here. We have some clips from that. And before we get to that, Live Nation has timed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at the Hard Rock Sacramento. I heard it's beautiful this time of year. April 13th, hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. We will look for, not right now, I did that again. It's a wrong Burgundy thing. Hit up the Folsom Lake hotline at 1 p.m. and Chris is going to pick the number this time. I picked the last couple days. And we will give you tickets. For more information, SactownSports.com. That's at 1 p.m., 916-339-1140. And we're opening up the phone lines, by the way, as well, 916-339-1140. Sam Amick, this is from the piece. People within the Sixers organization believe Joel Embiid forced himself to play through injuries due to scrutiny he received in the recent days. Here you go. You could see it long before he was hurt against the Warriors. Embiid, who missed Philadelphia's game at Portland on Monday night, looked like a player who pushed himself to play against Golden State because the whole basketball world was screaming in his ear. There are people within the Sixers who are convinced that he played only because of all the scrutiny. Now, if you have Nick Nurse tell it, right, in that post-game presser, he said that it didn't sound like that. It sounded like Embiid was just good to go. Chris, what is your takeaway from this? We have the Embiid part of it, and then we just have the 65-game limit in general.
Yeah, I think the Embiid part is really scary because I saw a video of him yesterday just trying to jump. Like he was just literally trying to get a block and he couldn't elevate. He couldn't even jump off of the ground. He just falls straight to the ground. And like, that's scary. Like that looks like you're tearing your ACL, your LCL, just the fact that you can't
like
even
gave out.
He just couldn't jump. Yeah. Like he couldn't even hop, not even credit card hops, nothing. I think that's incredibly telling to me. That when I saw that, I was just like, there's no way that this isn't just public pressure. And, you know, Joel, he's on Twitter all the time. He's always tweeting, trolling. I know he sees it. I know for a fact he sees all of the ducking Jokic stuff. I know. And he's somebody who's been really vocal about, you know, hearing it and letting it affect him. And it definitely seems like that's the case here. It feels like he's not 100% healthy. And this is his version of just kind of trying to silence the haters because that's
bullied
really
into play.
Yeah, that's Joel's number one criticism is he doesn't play games and he doesn't play through injury. And so I think this was his way of saying, look at this. Look at me playing through injury and you can see that I'm not 100%, but I'm going to play for your entertainment. And you know, it's just sad to see.
We got the audio right here when Embiid went down.
And Embiid is down. Joel Embiid is down on the ground. This will be the end of his night. He looks like he is in a great deal of pain here. Excellent defense by Kuminga. Oh,
I was right there.
Landed right on his leg, probably hyperextended.
Just real quick, I mean, Steve Kerr was making fun of Phoenix. That sounded like Club Phoenix in the Bay last night with that music as we're trying to figure out Embiid, and you just what was that,
some Usher preview.
Yeah,
Man. Get
mix,
Usher
whatever,
ready.
whatever that was. But
At first, Draymond was on him, and I thought
Oh, no.
Draymond was the one that landed on his knee.
Oh.
But then they said Kuminga. I was like, oh my, that would have been
crazy.
insane. Because what happened if you didn't see it? I'll describe it. He sat down on his kneecap that was basically just like if you're sitting on the floor with your legs out.
Yeah.
He just like sat on his kneecap, and it
just
didn't
like
look good.
slapped off the.
That's
court.
their reaction was so natural. Van Gundy. It was gross.
Yeah, and you know, there's two separate things. There's whether because now Nick Nurse, to be honest, he's for everyone saying he shouldn't have played. Nick Nurse is saying it's a new injury.
Yeah.
So we're kind of hearing two different things between. No, I guess not two different things, but they're two different conversations.
Conflicting for sure.
Sam Amick and his piece basically saying that he was pressured to go. Even if he was pressured to go or not, Nick Nurse is saying that it was a different injury.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but you could argue that, not necessarily in that freak accident of a case, but him playing through an injury leads to possibly injuring something else. I mean, you tear your Achilles and then, you overcompensate with your other leg and then you end up hurting your ankle or hurting your knee or something like that. And so I think it's a dangerous precedent. I think that's more what Sam's article is about, is not necessarily this specific injury, but just, hey, this is a case of somebody who got pretty much, like you said, peer pressured or bullied into playing basketball games when he was actually hurt. Is that actually good for the NBA to have your players playing through injury if it's legitimate? And maybe, maybe it all kind of it became a slippery slope with resting and then injury management as well. But we also saw this with Tyrese Halliburton, right? You said he had some comments about this, but Tyrese did a similar thing where I don't think he was pressured into coming back, but he definitely came back too soon. And I think it had something to do with the fact that they made the Siakam trade and he really wanted to get out there.
Yeah. And we'll get the full quote after the break, but yeah, Tyrese Halliburton calls the 65 game minimum for award eligibility a stupid rule. And I just want to have a conversation, and not to be the get off my lawn guy, but with all this new technology, I have some numbers here that are pretty crazy from back in the day. And I just want to workshop why. I don't know what it is, but I do want to workshop why. It could be AAU. It could be a lot of different things. We'll get into it when we get back. Why are players playing less and getting injured more than they were in years past? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out cloudy and overcast, with showers developing late in the afternoon and through the early evening. Rain could be heavier at times overnight tonight. It's also going to be breezy with gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
For us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, parties, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper, your boy Drapes, once again for the fine people of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I know you hear me raving all the time about my new EQS SUV they outfitted me with. It's the most stunning vehicle I've ever driven, hands down, no questions. I got news for you though. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton also has a full-service commercial fleet center. So if you run a business, head on down there right now. They have a huge selection of rugged Mercedes cargo vans, and interest rates are as low as 4.9% on 2023 model year vans. Outfitting your company with Mercedes vans is just smart business. And get this, you can also get substantial IRS tax breaks on your new Sprinter van. Of course, some restrictions apply. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is such an elegant car or van shopping experience. Every customer is a VIP. They'll treat you that way as well. It's right there in North Stockton, right off of I-5, a half-hour drive from Sacramento, or of course online at mbfstockton.com.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Stop by any participating AM/PM location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
On the putting green, when someone doesn't get their putt to the hole, someone else is bound to say, "Hit it, Alice." But who is Alice, and what did she do to get immortalized in a golf insult? Well, it turns out that Alice isn't a she, Alice is a he. It's Alice as in the late Peter Alice, the famous English golf broadcaster. He was a pretty good touring professional, and at the 1963 Ryder Cup, Alice played Arnold Palmer and Tony Lima, having with Lima and beating Palmer. At some point in that match, Alice, for whom putting was not a strength, badly missed a 3-foot putt. Someone in the gallery yelled out, "Nice putt, Alice." Alice explained that the BBC, where he did golf commentary, played a large part in burning the phrase into public consciousness. "I was never renowned for putting," he explained, "therefore I was an easy target for British comedy programs." Alice later gave golf lessons to Sean Connery for his match as James Bond in Goldfinger. So the next time you utter, "Hit it, Alice," just remember Peter Alice. May he rest in peace. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Defense under Mike McDonald allowed the fewest points per game, 16 and a half, while also recording the most sacks, 60, and takeaways, 31 this past season. Niner fans, are you okay with this, right? I feel like the offensive coordinators are scarier.
Yeah, definitely.
On the surface,
course,
right?
Yeah.
So I would assume a lot of Niner fans are okay with this to start. We'll see what happens.
Why is it that Seattle, because the other guy that, I mean, when we were talking with Brandon Gustafson, what was that, about a month ago, he was saying Dan Quinn was the name that he was seeing circulated the most. So my question is, why is Seattle seemingly so obsessed with adding a defensive coordinator?
I guess that's just their identity. That's who they've been.
Yeah, LOB, right.
Right, that's who they just want to continue to be. I mean, it's there are mostly offensive coordinators being hired, but there's still a good bit. I mean,
Sure.
and then you see a D'Amico Ryans,
of course,
do his thing. Robert Saleh hasn't had the same success.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is on Robert Saleh, right? They still have some good offensive pieces. So,
right. And not that a DC can't be a good coach. It's
Right.
just to your point, it just seems like A, it's the trend to add the OC, and B, it's just, I mean, you see how it's done wonders for the Niners. I mean, or teams like the Niners or any team, even the Rams as well, just teams when you have offensive coordinators as your head coach, year over year, your offense isn't going to change. You can get plucked from coordinators
That's
and
true.
Your offense is going to be the same. Your quarterback will be dealing with the same people year after year, or at least one of the same people being the head coach. If you have a defensive coordinator, you're going to have to hire a really talented offensive coordinator, and then you better hope that guy doesn't get poached like a Ben Johnson or something like that, and then you got to start all over again.
yeah, luckily for the Lions, Ben Johnson decided to stay. Yeah. So there's essentially 3 options for NFL head coaches. You go offensive guy, defensive guy, or rah-rah guy. We need to sit down. This is a summer thing. We need to sit down, break down what percentage of
Right, each coach, or how many,
of the teams, what percentage is what. Because if you are right, a Niners fan, okay, this is the defensive coordinator. I'm cool with it, right? That's who the Seahawks have been. Because I think what's the most scary piece of a team is, okay, do you trust a DC to get that quarterback? Now, D'Amico Ryans, that situation has worked out beautifully. Only year 1, but it's worked out beautifully. In New York with the Jets, not so much.
Right.
I guess it was supposed to when you go and get Aaron Rodgers, but that didn't work out. These defensive guys, it just feels like it's more important to have the quarterback if you hire a defensive guy, because maybe the defensive guy, it just gives you more leeway.
Of course,
right? If you have a Sean McVay went to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Sean McVay, you eventually had to level up and get Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
But these guys, Kyle Shanahan went to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. So that's not happening, in my opinion, if you have a defensive guy and you don't have an absolute stud at QB. So there's
or at OC.
Or at
It's
OC.
one or the other.
Or
right?
at OC. So if you're and we'll pull up Tankathon. I know we did that because I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's extremely high for the Seahawks, but the Seahawks right now are sitting at 16. I don't know what you're going to be able to give up.
It's quite literally the
worst.
middle of the draft. No, it's terrible. I mean,
everybody thinks he's going to get Penix.
You're in wait and see mode at that point.
Penix is not and I saw that. Hey, guys, hold on. Early measurements are out on some of these
they're
QBs.
at the Senior Bowl these days. Yeah,
Michael Penix Jr., big hands. I'm just saying.
Really?
Big hands. I saw that. And he's a lefty. So Seattle, go get your guy.
How tall is he? 6'3"?
He doesn't look. He looks like Lamar to me, right? He looks like a 6'2"er.
Thin, too?
Yeah, muscular, like a 6'2"er to me. Chris is pulling it up. He looks like a 6'2"er.
Type in Michael Penn.
It should come
Definitely
right on
not
up.
Michael
Yeah.
Penix. Michael Penix is listed at 6'3".
Yeah, that
Probably
checks
actually,
out.
6'2". So
Hometown.
could be a
too,
tall
or
6'1".
Home state.
Yeah,
home
Very
state.
possible.
right? Yeah,
There
Staying
you go.
at- yeah.
There you go.
Continue playing
So
Washington.
Does he go higher than Bo Nix?
I
probably
hope so because
probably.
I don't know. The Bo Nix age thing would just not that, and
Penix
Penix is
isn't
also an
young.
older guy too, right? I know he had the knee issues and that delayed his college career, but I don't know. I think I don't want to say I wasn't ever impressed with Bo Nix, but I rarely was like, this guy screams NFL quarterback, at least with Penix. And, I wasn't the biggest college football watcher, but just felt like Penix had a little bit extra to him.
Well, they were saying he was the best thrower.
Yeah.
They were saying he was the best thrower in.
I think the knees are really the biggest question. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Just
And
health.
it does scare me when someone doesn't run at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I am very excited to see Michael Penix's 40 time if he runs it, because it's not a matter of whether or not, maybe that's just not his style, but can you do it if you need to?
Sure. Yeah.
Can you do it if you need to?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud
Escapability.
can do it if he needs to.
Absolutely.
Because if you have a bad line, Joe Burrow is not a burner, but he's slippery.
Yep.
Are you slippery?
Brock Purdy.
Slippery. But Brock Purdy probably runs a
Athlete.
quicker 40 than Joe Burrow.
Okay,
That'd be my guess.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's a
obviously.
10-yard split.
It's
I
definitely
mean,
a faster
come on.
10-yard split.
It's faster than a car.
Okay. Ravens again. Ravens are losing it. And this is what happens when you go far, but you don't get it done. You still get poached, okay? You still get poached, but at the same time, you don't have the hardware. So now Ravens are losing their defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald, who is headed to Seattle. Niners fans, how you feeling? 916-339-1140. Let's get out to JR, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, JR? What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, What Blanket? What's up, De La Salle?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, lifelong Niner fan. We don't really consider Seattle really anything.
Right.
As we all know their history, they came in as an NFC team, got relegated. We're an AFC team, got kicked out. CFL wouldn't take them, so they went back to the NFC. So, that's the reality of their history. They had a couple of good years. Russ pulled some magic out of his pocket with our boy that just got fired. I don't even know his name. That's why how irrelevant he is. So, I don't care who they pick. They had their couple years. They're done. They're not really anything. They're not the Rams or the Cowboys, real rivals. So they could choose her. They could have had Harbaugh, for God's sakes. I wouldn't have cared.
I don't know about that, JR.
Yeah, I would have said, hey, we would have welcomed him with a nice big standing ovation for him one game, and then the next game he came back, we'd boo him. So we were fine with that. Yeah, Seattle's not seeing anything deep in the playoffs for a good 10, 15 years. So just deal with that fact, Seattle. Why don't you just relegate yourself, go up to CFL, maybe you can win a Grey Cup up there. Okay, girls?
Thanks
Love
for the call,
show.
Great call, JR. That is the best take I've heard on this show.
That's
yes,
not
it
the
is.
best take.
Yes, it is.
You're
They're
telling
irrelevant.
me if Harbaugh went to Seattle, you wouldn't have been like,
I was just kind of on board for all the Seattle hate.
all right.
So that's
enough.
what Harbaugh to Seattle would be weird, especially after like the beef they've kind of Harbaugh had
It would
when he
be
was
the
here.
inverse.
He couldn't work with
Richard
Pete
Sherman.
Carroll.
It would be the inverse Richard Sherman.
Oh, that would be disgusting. That would be uncomfortable to look at, like him in Seattle gear. It's weird.
What about him doing the "Who's got it better than us" thing?
Oh,
in
that
Seattle.
A lot of people, most teams, is what I would say to that.
That would burn if that.
95% of the league.
You get Mike McDonald, who
Drew Lock is sick.
Yeah, Mike
Dude,
McDonald.
Gino, he's a Pro Bowl guy.
You're dealing with the 16th pick in the draft. You need a quarterback. You have great offensive pieces.
Got weapons.
Okay,
yeah, for
you
sure.
definitely have weapons. You have a great young defense. That is the thing. This could be LOB part 2. They have a great young defense. They have offensive pieces. But as we've seen, you could have all these things, right? You could have great ingredients for a sandwich, but if you don't have bread, it's kind of hard to make a sandwich. And I think that the quarterback—
It's called a bowl these days.
It's called a bowl, right? Or it's called paleo. And I don't think paleo bowls are going to win you a Super Bowl. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we are discussing the new 65-game limit for postseason awards in the NBA. And we have some numbers that are just a little bit surprising. Why are players playing less in the NBA than in years past? Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Slayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of Tax Slayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use Tax Slayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. Tax Slayer. File fearlessly.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life.
Hewitt!
So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt, yeah!
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com. Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Here's some numbers for you. Michael Jordan played in at least 78 games in 12 of his 15 seasons. 9 times he played all 82 games.
9?
9 times.
Wow.
16 times John Stockton played all 82 games. 5 times Scottie Pippen played all 82 games. 4 times Kobe Bryant played all 82 games. Now, off the top of my head, Chris, I don't think the numbers look like that for the Stars right now. You have Joel Embiid, who I believe
definitely not
has only eclipsed 65 games, maybe once or twice. I don't know that he has.
I would guess once.
I don't to HB. I don't even know if Kevon Looney did it a couple years ago. I actually don't know.
2 straight years Kevon Looney did.
I actually don't know. And Joel Embiid isn't maybe the best.
He's definitely not,
because he had injuries coming into. I know Kyrie.
I mean, I would tell you this: LeBron James is the most durable athlete I think I have seen in my lifetime, especially for a star, but just in general. I mean, when you factor in the amount of LeBron has played the most minutes of any human who has played basketball ever. And he has only played 82 games once. And that was his last season in Cleveland. He's been really close. He's played 81 time before that. He's got a couple 79s. He's got an 80, 78, but has only played 82 games once in his entire career.
You said his last season in Cleveland. Is that his first or second? Really?
Second stint.
That is shocking to me.
He was 33 years old in 2017, 2018. He played 82 games. That's the only time he's ever done it.
Joel Embiid, the most games he's ever played in a season is 68. He's got 68. He's got a 66. He's got a 64. He's got a 63.
He's never played 70 games in his NBA career.
Ever. Now, really, and Joel, we know that Joel Embiid came into the league with injuries. I think, and Stephen A. went off about this morning on First Take. Really, a lot of this is because of Kawhi Leonard, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He's and Stephen A. is very open about that. Kawhi Leonard has always said, obviously, he's going to say he's going to play if he's healthy. The most games Kawhi Leonard has ever played, he reached 70 twice in back-to-back seasons with the Spurs.
I was going to say, tell me something non-Spurs, though.
Yeah, he played 72 in 2016. He played 74 in 2017. After that, he played 60 with the Raptors.
Okay.
For that one season, champion. 60 with the Raptors. After that, it's only gone. This season, maybe he'll eclipse it. After that, first season in LA, he played 57. Second season, 52. Third season, 52. And right now, he's at 41. So he's going to pass that. We assume he's going to pass that.
So maybe with the exception of the COVID shortened season, Kawhi has never played or has always missed at least a quarter of the season. Pretty much is what you said. 68 games was the most that he played since.
No, since leaving San Antonio, the most he played was 60 in Toronto.
60. Oh my! So he missed 22 games. Wow. Yeah, that's really bad. Yeah, that's a quarter of the season that he's missed every single year. And yeah, I mean, that's actually that's actually a really good point from Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
I think that Kawhi is definitely the reason why it's at such the forefront because, I mean, I just listed LeBron's numbers. It's not LeBron that's missing games. Like when you're talking about the tippy top, KD is, I mean, up until he really started to pick up those injuries, KD was a guy who's hooping every single night. And Russell Westbrook, we know he loves to play every single night. It feels like Kawhi definitely started this with I think it started on the Spurs, but he definitely started this with his load management. It got out of control. It wasn't just Kawhi who made this thing get out of control, but Kawhi was definitely the first domino to fall in this. And then it felt like, 4 or 5 years ago, it kind of became an epidemic where I think even the Warriors were sitting people on TNT games and things like that.
Like 4 guys. And here's the thing. This is what happens in life, not just in sports. It's the overcorrection.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't. Okay, right now we're at what? It's at 65 games. Maybe it should be 60. I don't know. 60 feels too low.
Yeah,
65.
That's the problem.
They're saying it's too high. We have some quotes here. Draymond on. He's back podding again. Draymond, Podmon Green.
He dropped one last night, I think.
And
right?
he was. I'll just tell you this. He was not a fan of the 65 game situation. This is everybody's favorite ex-King, Tyrese Halliburton. Here's a quote. I think it's a stupid rule, like many guys in the league, but this is what the owners want. So as players, we have to do our job and play in 65 games if we're able to.
Yeah.
That's what I got to do. Take care of my body to be able to play in those games because he's up against it
tough.
now.
Yeah.
Do you know why Tyrese said it too? He's going to miss out.
Yeah,
Probably
he's up against it because of that hamstring injury.
$60 million.
And when you look at Tyrese, he was carried off the court, and we even said, "Hey, brother, you keep trying to come back too fast. Maybe this is part of it."
Yeah,
this is part
absolutely.
of it. So, okay, I got some more numbers for you here, Chris. Steph Curry, who's been in the league forever, he played in 80 games his rookie season. He's gotten the notable seasons. He's got a 74, 78, 78, 80, 79, 79. And then after 2016, 2017, Steph Curry has not eclipsed 70 games.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that either. He has not eclipsed 70 games. 51, 69, 5, 63, 64, 56, 41.
Wow. Well, then I wonder if it could just be a switch in sports medicine too. I mean, it could just be that these athletic trainers are telling them, hey, like, if you're hurt, miss a game. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's kind of where it might have started also to get a little bit out of hand, and people kind of took an inch or got an inch and took a yard. Is that, yeah, I think that people realized, you know, you see Larry Bird he's got to lay down on his stomach at the age of 36 on the sideline. I think that they realized, yeah, Michael Jordan played 82 games, but was it better for his body? You know, Michael Jordan also missed a couple seasons there to go play baseball. Like, what did that break? Could he have had that extra second stint of his career if he didn't take that time off? It's interesting. I mean, you could argue Kobe possibly got hurt because he played at too much for too long. Mm-hmm. You could just argue that it's just them learning new information and saying, hey, if you want to be like LeBron, though LeBron's a bad example because, like I said, I mean, he was a freak of nature, but if you want to play 15, 20 years in the NBA, you got to take some days off. Like, you got to treat your body right. You can't just run it into the ground and then during summer use 3 months to try and recoup and then just tear your body apart again. I think if I had to guess, it started with medicine saying, just take rest is great. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that every doctor will tell you nowadays is get rest, and sleep is the number one thing that you can do to improve your overall performance. And, you know, I think it definitely led down a bad path, but I feel like 60. I just don't think they're ever going to find the right number between 60 and 65.
What does 3 games really change anything? Right. I mean, if you go down to 60, does it change?
Someone's
anything?
Always going to just barely miss
exactly.
Every time.
I would love to have our guy who does game night, the high flyer, Henry Turner, who obviously played in the league. I'd love to get his thoughts on this as a player because fine. Okay, Tyrese Halliburton, you don't like it. Okay, Draymond Green, you don't like it. And I haven't listened to Draymond. Maybe he offers a solution, but what is the solution?
Right.
Because you can't not is it 50 feels way too low.
Yeah.
60, I guess you could argue 60. Some people would say that's too low too. Real quick, just wanted to get Kevin Durant's because I think his is fascinating as well. These guys that have been in the league for so long. Rookie season, he plays 80 games. 80, I'm just going to read off the years.
Yeah.
80, 74, 82, 78, 66, 81. He went back-to-back in 2013, 2014, 81 games, Kevin Durant. After that, 27.
Well, he got
Is
hurt.
there any correlation?
He got hurt.
He played 2 seasons straight of 81 games. Then he gets hurt the next season.
Exactly.
Okay. Gets hurt, 72. And then here starts his Warriors tenure, 62, 68, 78. The year he played the most games, they lose the championship. He tears his Achilles.
I'm telling you, I don't think that there's that's a coincidence.
But I don't know, right? Achilles, that's not something you can play through.
Yeah.
So I don't know the correlation. I don't know what to do with the fact that Michael Jordan played 81 games nine times. Were they just built different? I truly don't know.
You said it in the tease, though. I mean, they're playing way more basketball also. Michael Jordan didn't have
He's
to
not an AAU.
The AAU circuit, all that stuff. I mean, you'd play other sports as well. I mean, LeBron, I know, played football, but like, what are the odds that De'Aaron Fox played anything else besides basketball? You know,
right?
And,
we can just
all summer
remove LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay, he's an alien. Remove LeBron.
Yes.
All these other, he's an alien among aliens, to be honest.
Right.
So all these other guys, you're playing AAU as soon as you know how parents are. Okay, you're interested in this. Oh shoot, you just hit a growth spurt. All right.
Yeah.
I guess you're a basketball player now. You're a hooper now, and you're playing all day. Basketball, football, you have to take some type of breaks, whether that's just due to the game, weather, whatever. All baseball and the Tommy John thing with baseball.
Absolutely.
Baseball, basketball, they're not stopping. We have doctors on these shows. They say, let your kids play everything. They're letting their kids play everything, but they're still
stop.
playing that
Right.
number one sport
That
all
too.
the time.
Right, absolutely. I remember when I was in elementary school, we had this kid who, he was just a great athlete, but his parents were convinced that he was going to be an NBA star, and so he was in the AAU. Sorry, and he was better than us at basketball, but he wasn't nothing crazy. He wasn't going to the league. But to your point, like the kid was great at baseball. He was good at football, a good athlete, could have been a receiver, but he just spent all of his time playing basketball on top of all that other stuff, and he would miss other things because it just feels like to the bigger point of it all. It does feel like it starts. It's just a conversation of, do we in America bring up our athletes in the right way? Because there's also the conversation of, it was a really hot button topic this summer with FIBA going on. All the top young NBA players are all from overseas. So are we doing this correctly by running our athletes into the ground by the time they even get to college? I don't think so, but it's weird. I don't have an answer. I'm sure there's definitely some doctor or someone just smarter than I am that could give you some direct correlation to why it seems like all those guys played the 82. I mean, you said John Stockton played 16 seasons of what?
John Stockton played all 82 games 16 times.
Like that's
insane.
What's the answer for that? Like, how is John Stockton with worse medicine, with worse shoes, with worse technology, worse everything? Crazy. I just mean the technology and Steph's shoes today, the grip and all that stuff is much different than John Stockton playing in Converse or whatever. How is all of that stuff true? And John Stockton's walking around and he's not looking like Larry Bird with a broken back. Like how is that possible? But then we can't even get LeBron James to play multiple 82 games.
This is actually insane. Okay. John Stockton.
It could be.
These numbers are actually insanity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He played 19 seasons. Okay. Here are John Stockton's games played. All right. And this is games started. It's a little bit different. We'll start from when he became a starter essentially in 1987. Okay. But honestly, we don't have to. We can just do all of them. Games played. 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 78, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 64, 50, 82, 82, 82, 82. In 2003, he was 40.
It's ridiculous.
He was 40.
Yeah. Look at Chris Paul right now.
27 minutes.
Yeah. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Maybe I have no explanation for that. Maybe in general, the fact that today the game is played at such a higher pace and people jump higher, they run faster, they're stronger. That impact, maybe maybe it's impact hitting the ground. There could be so many different factors.
That's true,
but. The John Stockton thing also, I can't believe John Stockton is an alien.
He's a monster.
As well. That's insane.
He's a monster. All right, we have some suggestions from the text line, and shout out to the Sac Chat. We will get to them when we get back. Continue the conversation. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? We can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
At Elk Grove Kia, we get it. Life happens. We believe in second chances. Have repos, late payments, or faced bankruptcy? No problem. Our finance department is top-notch and ready to make miracles happen. No need to worry about money down. At Elk Grove Kia, you can drive away today with $0 out of pocket. Visit us at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Your second chance to drive the car of your dreams is just a visit away. Elk Grove Kia, where we turn obstacles into opportunities. Dare to drive differently.
Elk Grove Kia.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers, the No Surprise guys. We love that old song, Respect. You know, RESPECT. It's a good song and a good business philosophy. At Bell Brothers, everything we do is designed to show respect for our customers. We show up on time out of respect. Our technicians are clean-cut, friendly, and wear identification badges out of respect. We do good deeds for free for our customers and leave their homes cleaner than we found them. That's right, out of respect. So, if you want plumbing and AC service from a company that will show you some RESPECT, call Bell Brothers. We promise to respect your time, your home, and you. Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Or call if you have plumbing problems. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore.
Great selection, great factory financing and incentive.
And great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock.
Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Theories on why athletes are playing less games, specifically NBA athletes. This is from Al and Cal, the 916. It was the short shorts, possibly, but the short shorts are kind of, they made a comeback.
Jordan Poole's trying to bring them back.
Jordan Poole, I know in college they wear them a lot, right? Possibly.
More aerodynamic.
More aerodynamic, right? Less force on your knees because your knees are free.
It is kind of crazy how, like, they show the picture, I think it was like Jamal Tinsley or something in a Slam cover from 2001, and his shorts are literally like at his ankles. I think even at that time it was a little bit of a joke, but like we were getting a little wild with how bad
the overcorrection. But here's the thing: they've definitely crept back up. If you watch a game in 2012, 2013, they feel like they were longer then.
Yeah,
they've definitely crept up.
Yeah.
They're not as high as back in the day, but they've definitely
they're getting shorter.
And
now people got the leg sleeves too, and it kind of masks, because that's what Jordan Poole does, right?
Yeah,
I think he'll rock the leg sleeves, so it doesn't really look super short. But if you look at the actual short, you're like, brother, that's in a little 1970s.
You know, me at PT. You gotta wear the sleeves if you're gonna go with the short shorts. From the 530, no minimums. Help me out with this one, Chris.
Okay.
No minimums. Use a percentage played for percentage of MVP votes from the 530.
Use percentage of games played.
So basically,
for percentage,
you would
if you play 70% of your games, you only count 70% of your MVP votes?
I mean, maybe the weight, right? The weight, you measure that, or that weight gets measured out differently.
I would have to see it drawn out a little bit more. I think there's percentage of games. I think is well, the problem with there's something there. There's something.
But but to that, what if it wasn't an actual equation and it was literally just, hey, to the writers, you need to, whatever the percentage is based on skill and stats, right? They add to the MVP, all NBA voting, hey, a heavier percentage of this is how much they played. So if you have Embiid ahead of Jokic, right, in stats, we're trusting you to add in or here's a percentage. I'm going to go grades again. Here's a percentage. If Jokic played 20 more games than Embiid, then Embiid's stats better be destroying Jokic's if you're going to go with Embiid.
That's how it was done every year before this, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was supposed to be done.
Maybe just, hey, we're really emphasizing this more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on the individual voters at that point. How about they just do it like they do normal jobs? You get a certain amount of injury days and you get a certain amount of just rest days. Like how we get sick hours and we get vacation hours. But isn't that what it is now? In a way. It could just be like, hey, we are acknowledging that everybody is going to get injured this year. We're going to say everyone gets, 15 injury days and you get 4 days of rest or something. I don't know. I don't know how it could exactly work. That would put, 20 games would probably be the easier round thing to do. And that would put you at 62.
20 games
I don't know.
Feels
it's all the same.
Right. And that's the thing. Okay, Draymond. Okay, Tyrese Halliburton. All you guys, give us solutions. Yeah. What's a better solution?
Yeah, no, because it's not fair, or else you're gonna get more people. If you're incentivizing numbers over games played, if you're saying, like you said, it's impressive to me that Joel Embiid is averaging 35 points per game, but he did it in 20 games less than Jokic,
who's at 31.
Whatever, sure.
31.
Yeah, I just feel like. I just feel like everybody's going to then lean towards playing less game. I mean, you saw it when Kyrie Irving couldn't play in the away stadiums or whatever it was when he wasn't vaccinated. Like, his stats were insane, but it was because he was playing once a week. And it's like, well, yeah, of course Joel Embiid's going to look insane when he plays. It comes down to, what do you actually think is better for the game? These guys having crazy performances when they do play, or is it them just sheerly being in the building every single night? What is more valuable to the NBA? The NBA is saying, we just want them to be on the floor. We don't care about back-to-backs. We don't care about game quality. We just care that when people step into the building that they paid tickets for, Joel Embiid is there. LeBron James is there. The characters that they paid to see are there. They don't really, the result is a complete gamble. You're not paying for the result of the game. You're paying to show up and see those guys, and nothing more, nothing less.
And Joel Embiid is being a bit of the sacrificial lamb here, for lack of a better term, because we had already established that this is something separate, because we had already established that Joel Embiid, there's still half the season left. Yeah. Joel Embiid was not going to make this mark and not even be close. Joel Embiid did not play last night because he wanted to make sure he was going to be eligible for those 65. He played because of cyberbullying and the narrative that he does not play in tough environments on the road.
And how about what we talked about yesterday, right? We kind of forecasted this a bit. We said Joel's definitely going to play because of this investigation as well, right? Like, how much of that played into a factor is the fact that the NBA was like,
they said they were investigating it.
Which is weird, which also adds another layer to it, because is Joel hurt or not? Like, was he hurt before this or not?
Nick Nurse said he felt good.
Because if he was hurt, then what are you playing him for in terms of, like, what do you have to be afraid of if Joel was hurt from the investigation?
But Nick Nurse isn't walking anything back. Maybe, but not. To your point, he can't, because he didn't play. So he has to say now he's good. He wasn't. Yeah. And I believe it was also a knee injury. Again, same knee. But this is a completely different injury, according to Nick Nurse. So using Joel Embiid for this argument really isn't great because Joel Embiid wasn't going to make this minimum anyway. Right. Tyrese Halliburton is probably a better example of it.
Yeah.
Because Tyrese Halliburton tried to come back early. This has been his breakout season, really.
Right.
So that makes more sense to me than
Joel
Embiid, right? But it still doesn't change the fact that there really isn't
there's no good answer.
Answer.
You're gonna make somebody upset regardless of what happened. Well, not everybody, because as I told you during the break, Magic Johnson loves this. I don't know if this is from Magic Johnson's Twitter, but it definitely sounds like a Magic Johnson tweet. This is Magic on the 65-game eligibility rule. He says, fans were upset after spending money to see their favorite players not play. So my friend Adam Silver had to take action and implement the new rule. Good for the league and local TV partners, which we can't forget. That's a huge part of this as well. Sponsors as well, the NBA, and all caps, the fans.
It's AI generated.
It's got to,
right?
It's got to be.
It has to be.
I think that somebody did a deep dive, and there is an intern that tweets for him, but it all comes from the mind of Magic Johnson.
Would you guys want to play a game where I have ChatGPT write Magic Johnson tweets, and then you guys have to decipher which
if
is
it's real or not?
Would you like to do that by the end of the show? Would you like to do that with the roundtable today?
Sure.
Or is that
they would love it.
too silly?
Frankie would love it.
Okay, I'm going to put that together.
Yeah. We'll do it in the last segment of the roundtable.
So, I mean, look, I don't understand. Again, Scottie Pippen played all 82 5 times. John Stockton, a machine, played 19 seasons, played 82 games 16 times. Kobe Bryant, 4 times, all 82. Michael Jordan, 9 times. And you have LeBron, who played how many?
He played 82 once. He's played 81 twice, I believe. He's played 81 once, 80 once, and 79 3 different times. 82 only once.
Steph Curry has never played in all 82. The closest he's got to 80 twice, and he's got to 79 twice. And Kevin Durant has played all 82 once. He played 81 twice, and he played 80 once. And that's the best you got. I'm just based on longevity of these guys. I'm sure there are a couple dudes who have played, but again, if you're not a starter, does it even count the same? I mean, Kevon Looney, I know he was Iron Man last season, 2 seasons ago. He plays a decent amount of minutes, right? But
HB too. HB was an Iron Man last year, and he's played every game this year so far. But
so
it's also a question of is it different
to see Looney? No one's paying to see Harrison Barnes.
Well, and the amount that they have the ball as well, or just in general how active they are in the game is like. It's incredibly marginal compared to those other guys. So it's like, it might be a little easier to stay healthy when your usage is a little bit lower.
Yeah. I mean, the AAU, right? Maybe these kids, it's just too much on the body over and over and over again. Now I sound like Marshawn Lynch, and ultimately it is costing them in the long run and costing everybody, right? You see something every week. There's somebody who went on to pay this money, and they flew from here, they flew from there. And you got young dudes. I mean, LaMelo can't stay on the floor. We know the story with Lonzo can't stay on the floor. And we know they train their butts off to get to the NBA. Is there any correlation here? I don't know. I mean, with availability of training mechanisms and ideas is just more and more competition, and you have to out-train the competition, and it's just a vicious cycle. Got to get
no
to
one's
a break.
Talking about Ben Simmons either.
Simmons?
His 65 game, dude. He's going to barely miss it. Just barely.
At first, I thought you were serious.
Yeah. Ben Simmons might miss 65 games.
I just want to do Ben Simmons as far as his games, and then do how much money he's made, because that's ticking people off too.
Bro,
he might be the ultimate
money
finesser.
Per minute might be insane stat for Ben Simmons.
That's actually crazy.
I'm sure someone's done it. His money per minute has to be insane.
They have to.
Let me see. We can maybe do it during the break.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, we are continuing to talk about the Kings. De'Aaron Fox has cracked the top 15 for ticket sales. Also got some Niners talk as well. Brock Purdy and some of the special lists that he is joining. And we got some audio with Nick Bosa's mind blown about Brock Purdy's confidence. And at 1 o'clock, don't forget, pair of tickets to see Eddie Griffin. We're giving that away at 1 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
The mathematician, Chris, is
so bad at math.
trying to figure out how much money Ben Simmons has.
Maybe I'll just throw it out there so someone else can do the math for me.
From the NBA as we have a conversation had a conversation about all the missed games from the new age NBA players, load management, and how to fix this situation. Want to have a quick convo about Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy is doing some really crazy things. And look, regardless of who he has on his roster, no one's done it before. So unless we're saying that the Niners have the best roster in the history of the NFL, it's time to give Brock Purdy some flowers, right? Brock Purdy is joining some specialists. Brock Purdy joined Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, and Mark Sanchez as the only quarterbacks to win 4 playoff games in their first 2 seasons. Brock Purdy is the 3rd player with 250 or more passing yards and 50 or more rushing yards in a conference championship game, joining Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And Brock Purdy could be the youngest ever Super Bowl winning quarterback. How about that?
That's crazy.
The last pick in the draft.
Yeah. What, like, we're 2 years removed from that. I mean, I just can't believe. I can't even imagine how Brock and his family are feeling right now. But it's wild that that's even remotely a possibility at this point. Like, I mean, Mr. Irrelevance are just not supposed to be any, especially not in the NFL. Like, it was one thing when Isaiah Thomas was a king and he was Mr. Irrelevant in the NBA draft. It's like, okay, he was the 60th player picked. We've seen second rounders do things before. We've seen undrafted guys, whatever. But for a Mr. Irrelevant to be a quarterback also on top of that, the position where if you're not a first or second round pick, you're already pretty much not going to have an NFL career. Mm-hmm. So to be seventh round pick and the last pick of the draft, and then 2 years later be, a game away from winning a Super Bowl. And last year also was really close to being in a Super Bowl as well. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And I understand why Niner fans are upset that that narrative is not being talked about nearly enough.
Yeah. And look, you can have the conversation about Brock Purdy as far as him going to a good situation, but you also have to have the conversation that he made the situation even better.
Yes.
All right. We've kind of
even he didn't mess it up.
Right. Right. On top of not messing it up, then he makes it better. the comparison that I've used in the past, and I'll use it again. Brock Purdy is somebody born to a well-off family, okay? He is born to a well-off family in terms of his football family, his team. We all know people that are born to wealthy families, and some of those people make their families even wealthier and take advantage of their situations. And some of those people trick it off and they end up in worse situations. Some of those people just exist.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say Jimmy Garoppolo existed. Okay. He didn't bring his family any more wealth.
Yeah.
I would say CJ Beathard did not bring his family. They probably lost some money with CJ Beathard. Okay. Money Mullins, they lost some money. And then you have the son, Brock Purdy, who has taken their wealth to another level. Now, obviously, that gets cemented with a Super Bowl win because Jimmy Garoppolo did go to a Super Bowl, but Jimmy Garoppolo was never in MVP conversations either.
Wow, how weird is that parallel, too, that it's also against the Chiefs?
It's also against the Chiefs, and it's in the stadium where Jimmy Garoppolo attempted to play football again, and it did not work out for him.
Emphasis on attempted.
Here, Chris, here are some of the other mystery relevance, all right? In 2023.
Please, there's no way I've heard of any of these
Dejuan
guys, right?
Johnson from Toledo. That was in 2023. Obviously, Brock in 2022. Grant Stewart in 2021, linebacker. Tay Crowder. And we got to check if these guys are still in the league. Tay Crowder went to the Giants. He's a linebacker.
I like it.
Jay Crowder's brother,
right,
actually.
Has to be.
In 2020. Caleb Wilson, tight end.
He's supposed to go first in this year's draft, right? Hey,
like Trey Quinn, wide receiver in 2018.
This
Chad
is another
Kelly,
where you're just making things up.
Chad Kelly,
Chad Kelly,
Chad Kelly from Ole Miss.
So that's why is nobody bringing up Chad? Say like, hey, that's who Brock is supposed to be. Is Chad Kelly?
Chad Kelly. You have just other quarterbacks. Chandler Harnish in 2012. He went to the Colts. You know, a lot of these guys probably aren't even in the league.
No, there's no way.
Tim Toon. Wide receiver in 2010. You have Justice Cunningham, tight end.
Why not?
Went to the Colts. Love that last pick. Ryan Hogue. Raider fans remember Ryan Hogue? He went to Gustavus Adolphus.
I'm sorry.
I'm assuming that's not in the U.S. Also, Raiders in 2004, Colorado State. Andre Summersell. Andy Stokes.
These are fake people.
These aren't fake people.
Stop making people
Ramsey Robinson, Alabama cornerback, went to the Lions in 2007. None of these guys, man.
No, they're not even players. Like, forget just being
not.
Like, we're not even talking like, oh yeah, he had that catch, or he had that one big week in fantasy, didn't he? That one time. No.
Here you go. Jeff Beathard. I I don't know if he's related to.
Has to be.
That could, 1988.
Gotta be. That's gotta be his uncle or something. Has to be.
Darren Alcorn, a kicker from Akron. Right? Who's played? Who's
played, period.
Yes.
How many games have been played by Mr. Irrelevance in NFL history?
Besides Brock Purdy.
And then what Brock said, pushing on 20-something games right now?
I feel like Chad Kelly got to start somewhere.
I don't think he did. I don't think he ever got a regular season start. I would be surprised if he did. I mean, I remember him at Ole Miss. He was a bit of a trash talker, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, he was the this is super random. He was Last Chance U, the very first season they did, the Ole Miss or the Mississippi school. He was like the product that put them. He was like their most recent recruit that went big time and went somewhere else. It was like the season after he had left, they started filming that show. That's what I know Chad Kelly from, and that's about it. Definitely not leading any teams to Super Bowls. That's for sure.
No. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we have that sound from Nick Bosa, who is literally just in awe of Brock Purdy and his confidence. Also breaking down De'Aaron Fox cracking the top 15 of jersey sales for the NBA. And like we discussed, 12:30 Kings Roundtable, Frankie Cardicelli, Brandon Nunes, Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Wednesday in South Beach.
Herder with a wraparound, and Sabonis rips it down for a 2020 game.
It's the Kings and the Heat.
Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your 2024 grilling season right with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. It's incredible. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
It's time to buck up Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets for a weekend of non-stop bucking action this February 2nd through 4th.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury, for almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
We are an hour and a half away from our Eddie Griffin ticket giveaway. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. 12 o'clock, we are breaking down all things Jimmy Butler. I can tell you right now, you're not going to want to miss this conversation. Chris and I do not agree at all about Jimmy Butler coming to Sacramento. And actually, Nate doesn't agree with me.
We have the debut, too, of is this Magic Johnson or AI?
Yes.
It's ready to go.
MJ
We'll
or
call
AI?
it AI Magic.
AI Magic.
Oh, that is beautiful, Chris.
Outstanding work, Chris. Yeah. That is at 12:45-ish to end our Kings Roundtable. Sorry, that is more like 1:15-ish for the, what is it, Chris?
The
AI Magic.
Yes, AI Magic.
AI Magic at 1:15 with the Kings Roundtable, and they have no clue that we're going to do this.
Not a single idea.
It's going to be even better that way. De'Aaron Fox has cracked the top 15 of NBA jersey sales, and we have a ongoing conversation about De'Aaron Fox becoming a household name, becoming a superstar. Here are the top selling jerseys. Steph Curry, number 1. Jason Tatum, number 2. And this is the same conversation about once these guys retire, Steph, LeBron, who's the next face of the league.
Stop buying your kids Steph Curry jerseys.
Okay. That's not going to happen.
He's about to retire soon. Come on, stop it.
Well, he's going to get pushed to retirement if they don't figure things out.
Buy your Kuminga jerseys.
Steph Curry, number 1. Jason Tatum, number 2. LeBron James, number 3. Jeez. Victor Wembanyama, number 4. Giannis, number 5. Luka, number 6. Devin Booker, number 7.
That's
Kevin Durant,
surprising.
number 8. Tyrese Maxey.
How is Booker? You said 7? How is he 7? But then when we looked at the All-Star votes, he wasn't on the list. That doesn't make any sense. Go ahead. Sorry.
Tyrese Maxey, that's surprising.
That's
to me.
really
number 9. Tyrese Maxey ahead of Damian Lillard at number 10.
Wow.
Ja Morant at number 11.
Wow.
Joel Embiid, number 12. LaMelo is number 13.
Maxey over Embiid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jokic at 14 and De'Aaron Fox at 15.
Hey, shout out De'Aaron. I'm shocked that Maxey is over Embiid that highly. I mean, maybe it's just the new jerseys flowing in, but that's really surprising. And De'Aaron, I cannot even think of the last King who would have even been considered on this list.
Gotta be C. Webb, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe DeMarcus was cracking top 20 at some point, but I can't imagine his likability wasn't necessarily through the roof. So, I mean, that's a huge step for De'Aaron and for this organization in total too. I mean, that at least is showing De'Aaron's on the map, right? I mean, we've asked like how many. I mean, there's Luka in terms of young guards or guards in De'Aaron's age range. There's Luka, Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Ja Morant, and LaMelo ahead of him. Those guys all make sense. Like I'm okay with. I feel like he could maybe eclipse Maxey and Ja and LaMelo, but I feel like De'Aaron is probably in that tier of popularity right now, and it makes sense to me that he's at the bottom because he doesn't have the, LaMelo Ball's been a star since he was in high school.
Yeah.
De'Aaron doesn't have the signature shoe yet. I feel like it's a good start.
On the way.
He's on the way, exactly.
Do we have any release images of the Fox ones yet?
I don't know.
Is he wearing them right now?
He's wearing some PEs right now, some like player edition, player exclusives that are Curry shoes, but he's naming them like the Rain 3s, like after his son. So, or the Rain 1s, I guess it would be. So I don't know if those are I don't think that's the signature shoe.
Because it said fall 2024.
Yeah.
So you figure, okay, well, he's probably going to start wearing them soon. I know a lot of times players will premiere them.
Maybe it'll be in the playoffs.
During the playoffs, but got to get there. Maybe you just make sure we see them before, just in case they're De'Aaron, as the Kings are feeling real good on a 4-game winning streak. But I mean, he's probably going to bust. Obviously, these rollouts are all official. Yeah. He's probably going to bust them out pretty soon here.
I would think so. I think if I remember correctly,
break,
too,
maybe.
I was going to say, I remember last year at All-Star, funny enough, it was right before the Ja thing kind of blew up, but they had like a huge Nike sneaker release for the Ja 1s. And I think All-Star is usually around the first time that you'll see and hear all that stuff because it's a ton of NBA people all in the same circles and stuff in the same area. So I would suspect that we probably hear something in the next couple weeks, maybe some renderings of the shoe, who knows, but I would bet during All-Star weekend. Well, I don't know if De'Aaron's even going to be there or not, but if he's there, I would suspect that we're going to hear something about it.
Yeah, and as far as De'Aaron and, releasing these shoes and also the All-Star, the same thing you said about Devin Booker, couldn't it also be said as far as with the All-Star and the voting, and we know De'Aaron cooled off a little bit, but couldn't that also be used or related to De'Aaron Fox? Because if you look at De'Aaron Fox, if you look at I think maybe the problem is the West. That might be the issue because, top 15 jersey sales. Steph Curry, who actually wasn't even a starter.
No.
Right?
And there's questions of whether he's going to be an all-star, period.
Right. It's front court and back court. So Steph, a guard. And you know how they do this now? It's just front court, back court.
Yep.
Steph, a guard. LeBron James, not. Wembanyama is just other. Luka, a guard. I think that's ticking people off. But Luka, a guard. Booker, a guard. KD's in the front court. He's got to be.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's 3 in the West. Ja, who is not even in the conversation anymore. And then the rest is in the East besides Jokic, who is not a guard. So how is De'Aaron so low there?
Yeah, I was almost thinking that too. Like, why instead of fans voting, it feels like this is probably the better way of indicating who fans want to see the most, right? Like, I mean, votes can be manipulated super easy. We saw the K-pop thing with Andrew Wiggins a couple of years ago. To me, this is what do they always say? Adam Silver, as a matter of fact, says it all the time when talking about, how load management actually isn't that big. He said it last year at All-Star. Load management isn't that big of a deal because if you look at our numbers, our attendance is higher than ever. So why'd you change? Exactly. But to that point, I mean, fans speak with their wallets, and voting's free. Anybody can go on NBA.com/vote and vote for De'Aaron Fox, but they're speaking with their wallets here. The NBA jersey sales, that to me should be, if you're in the top 15 of an NBA jersey sale, I think that should all but guarantee that you're an all-star, because that's what the all-star game's about. It's about getting the guys on the floor that fans want to see. And Rudy Gobert, bless him. He's a great basketball player. He affects winning on the defensive side of the ball, but he's never going to be wanted in an all-star game, and he's never going to be in the top 15 of jersey sales.
Right. So really the big name that is, it's surprising. So what do we do with this? There's a lot of what do we do with this information on today's show. It's just a wondering Wednesday, if you will.
There we go.
Because where is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Great question.
That's the name
right there.
That's the name.
Yeah.
That is the guy who destroyed
30+ points.
He's all over all the voting. Why is nobody buying his jersey?
It's a great question.
I don't like the Oklahoma City jersey.
I don't either.
I think it's a terrible,
horrible
jersey.
Boring.
Is that why? It's just a bad jersey. I'm not trying to rock that jersey.
Yeah,
he is.
I mean, I guess Wemby is Wemby, but it's like I'm not trying to rock a Spurs jersey either.
Yeah, he is the star of the West right now.
Yeah.
They are the second seeded team, and he is a guard. Everybody voted for him, right? Where are his jersey sales? Where's Anthony Edwards?
Where's Anthony Edwards? That's a great question. Right. They're the 1 seed right now.
This makes absolutely zero sense to me. Besides, is there an issue with Sacramento Wi-Fi? Where were the Sacramento votes?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Question.
That this actually confuses the heck out of me.
To me, isn't this a better representation of popularity than the votes as well?
I would say so.
I would say so. That's really weird. Yeah, especially Anthony Edwards. Like, you would think that it would skew more towards young players too, because at this point, how is Steph Curry number 1? Like, who at this point is like, you know what I should do? I should get a Steph Curry jersey. I've always been hesitant to get it, but let me go out and go get a Steph jersey. Go. Something I've always wanted to do. There's been so many years to do it. Why not?
Chris is throwing highlighters. He just can't take it.
I figured out how much Ben Simmons makes per minute, by the way.
Okay, good. We got that when we get back. Here you go, Chris. Fan rank, okay, for the guards. This is how this broke down. De'Aaron Fox was 7th in fan rank. I want to hear who's ahead of him, but behind him, clearly, in jersey sales. James Harden was 6th in fan rank.
Right, and that's a new team, too. So where's his new jersey sale?
James Harden, 6th in fan rank. Anthony Edwards, 5th in fan rank. Kyrie Irving, 4th in fan rank. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 3rd in fan rank. And then you have Luka 1 and Stephen Curry 2. Makes no sense.
No, that's interesting. I mean, and maybe you could say, those numbers are more so based on performance than play, and that's fine. But my argument would more just be the All-Star game is not.
But
for,
is it though?
Like, I think the All-Star game is for
Fans aren't sitting here looking at stats like that.
Yeah, no, I think the All-Star game should be for the most popular players. It should be Allen Iverson should have been the starter for the East every single year he was available, because that's exactly who I want to see. And that's why I understand why Kyrie Irving was in, the top 8 for Western Conference voting. But again, I think to me, if you're the NBA and you want All-Star game to be, let's get the people that the fans want to see the most, this is the list I'm using. I don't care about fan votes.
And it's not just De'Aaron Fox.
No.
Devin Booker was 8th in fan rank, but he was top 15 in jersey sales. And Ja Morant, more of a confusing case because of his injury and other things. Ja Morant was 9th in fan rank, and he is in the jersey sale conversation as well. Got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing to get you ready for Kings Heat, and Chris has finally broken down how much Ben Simmons makes per minute. If you haven't had your lunch yet, don't do so because you might lose it. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Wednesday in South Beach.
Herder with a wraparound, and Sabonis rips it down for a 2020 game.
It's the Kings and the Heat.
Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Progressive knows we're all trying to save right now.
Hey, at least we're still enjoying baseball on a Saturday night, right? Even if it is T-ball. Yeah, but tickets to the majors are just so expensive now. And who knows, maybe we're seeing a pro in the making.
Sure, in like 20 years. How is he safe? Boo! This ump stinks!
The ump is only 14. We don't really do that.
Oh, my bad. You're doing a great job, ump.
Progressive offers you savings without sacrifice. So save big when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
We're for Washington. We love Febrez's new scent. Refresh and energize.
So much we made a song about it.
I can't escape this feeling inside. Refresh and energize. It's a mood. It's a vibe. Breathing for the first time. So free, so alive. Breathe happy for free. Smells like paradise. Breathe happy for free. La, 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 la.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Do not miss your chance. We are an hour, 15 minutes away from your chance to see Eddie Griffin, the undercover brother. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at the Hard Rock Sacramento, April 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline at 1 p.m. for your chance to see Eddie Griffin. A pair of tickets. And the Kings have a chance now.
Oh,
I thought I was going to drop it.
Oh, there it is.
The Kings have a chance. That was a long.
That was way too long
there. You in the club? You thinking, hey,
next
what
song?
happened?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's quite the transition.
Turn my headphones up.
Yeah. Where's my snare at?
Turn it up. Where the treble at? Put some treble in it.
Put some treble
in it.
As we get ready for Kings Heat. Somebody else has something going on, not just De'Aaron Fox. Keegan Murray has been named to the Rising Stars game at All-Star Weekend as obviously an NBA sophomore. He joins Paolo Banchero, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, Walker Kessler, Benedict Mathurin, Shaedon Sharpe, Jabari Smith Jr., and Jalen Williams. Keegan Murray, your guy.
I wish I could be even like remotely excited for this. I just have no idea what they're doing for the Rising Stars game anymore. They've changed it like 4 straight times.
It's better than is it not? Is it still US Canada or US World?
No. Now they do. It's back to rookie sophomore, but they also threw in G Leaguers this year.
And Mac McClung?
Last year they did this weird like tournament where it was. I can't even really remember how it's a headache. What I learned last year by going to All-Star is All-Star has lost its mind. It has gone off the rails. The skills challenge is people throwing full court like bounce passes.
I don't mind the skills challenge.
I used to like it. I used to love All-Star Saturday.
Yeah.
All-Star Saturday is like one of my favorite event weekends of the entire sports calendar. And it's just gotten completely destroyed. And I don't really even know what the allure is to watch anymore, because it's really the 3-point shootout has become the main event, funny enough. So I'll be watching, but it's just been incredibly disappointing the past couple of years. As someone who loves All-Star Saturday, it's been a joke.
Well, we have time to discuss because we got to complain about the Pro Bowl before we complain about All-Star. And it feels like the Pro Bowl actually kind of has turned things around.
That's what I hear.
We're just not going to do football stuff.
Sounds great.
I feel like this is beating a dead horse. Like the Pro Bowl, in my entire
like the
lifespan, no one's liked it.
But I like the dodgeball.
Sure,
See,
but
but-
that's like one thing.
Yeah.
And I like the dodgeball. I like the quarterback throwing just to see their skills.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't mind that.
They used to do like way like in the early 2000s, they did like a skills competition where, I think like Warren Sapp would win all the time. They would throw, almost like a world's strongest man competition with the linemen, receivers. I think now they have them do like essentially a dunk contest, but with catches where they dive onto a mat and stuff.
That's right.
They're trying some things.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird.
I would
That
imagine.
one,
I did not watch
no,
last.
I
cannot
did.
say
No,
watched
I
it, but
did. That one is a
I'll
little
give it a
bizarre,
chance.
but they definitely tried. Here, this is
this
what,
weekend, isn't it?
Yes, it is this
Is
weekend.
that in Vegas? Does anyone have
It was in
any
Hawaii.
information on the Pro Bowl?
I don't know if they still do it in Hawaii. I think they're in Orlando now, Nate. Nate's a Pro Bowl guy.
Nate's the
Isn't
Pro Bowl
it
expert
Hawaii?
here.
It was in Hawaii for years.
They haven't done it in Hawaii in a couple years.
I'd like to give my dad some credit too on this.
It's still in Orlando.
He
It's
was
still in
like,
Orlando.
it needs to be flag football. And I'm like, dude, they're never going to do that. Sure enough, it happened. So
The thing that trips me out about the flag football is that you could still get injured.
Yes, absolutely.
You could still get injured.
probably a better chance because it's
Cutting.
more of an unfamiliar element.
Turkey Bowl?
Turkey
Bowl's
Bowl's,
a
dude.
throw over
I
the
quit
middle?
playing Turkey Bowl.
You cannot throw a ball over the middle or somebody's getting cracked. Okay? And they're much smaller people that I'm playing Turkey Bowl with than who's going to be playing playing flag football. Okay?
Oh, I thought you. Okay, yeah.
So it is in Orlando.
All right. Is it
Shout out
outside?
Orlando.
Is it where they? There's no stadium.
I think they probably play at the Disney lot or something. I think they play at Camping World Stadium or something.
Getting back to the NBA All-Star quickly. I know, have you guys seen this? It might be before your time. Have you guys seen it floating around in 1992 when Mike Conley Sr., Ken Griffey Jr., Deion Sanders, and I also believe Barry Bonds, they were in a slam dunk competition?
No.
Yes. Check it out.
What?
They did a slam dunk competition. It was ridiculous. And maybe that's where this thing goes. I mean, I'd rather see NFL players and Major
Myles
League Baseball
Garrett.
players. Yes. I'd rather see them in a dunk contest do dunks that we've seen before just to see how athletic they are than Mac McClung. Or you could do both. Maybe you could do both. But TNT had a show with Terrence J. What was that, 4 or 5 years ago?
Oh, the dunk show?
The dunk
Oh
show
my
where it was
gosh.
just
that was
professional
terrible.
dunkers. That's where we're headed with the dunk contest.
Yeah, no thanks. I mean, in a way, Mac McClung is a bit of a mercenary. A bit, he's pretty much getting signed by teams just so it's not insane that he's performing in the dunk contest. I think he's on Orlando's G League now.
Okay,
if I'm
he's
not mistaken.
no longer with Philly.
He's not with Philly anymore. So yeah, in a way, it does seem like we're getting further and further away from actual NBA players doing at least the dunk contest.
Are you blaming LeBron for this?
I mean, he kind of started the turning it down because even like Kobe did the dunk contest. Even Vince Carter, of course, made a name for himself in the dunk contest. I guess you can blame LeBron, but it kind of always gets passed on to the next guy too. I mean, like, I guess, like, sure. We can blame LeBron. Why not? Because everything does kind of lead to him.
If people are going to
doing
put
it.
him
Right.
in one of the most influential players, then how could you not?
Right, exactly.
Right. Like if Steph Curry never did the 3-point contest, I think that thing would dip.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
instead he's doing side missions, side quests with Sabrina Ionescu. Yeah. That was kind of random, by the way.
It was super random.
So
Even
they're going to
when
do a separate contest, just them?
Yeah, I mean, you're acting like you don't remember the Draymond Green versus Kevin Hart 3-point shootout.
That's
Come
true.
on. Come on, Alan. It's been
My goal is to
done
beat
before.
Kevin Hart in that situation before my career's over.
Didn't he? I think he tied
Yeah,
Draymond
that
too.
was
He might have
bad.
even beaten him.
It was bad.
Looked like Kevin Herter out
They
there.
should put a backpack on Kevin Hart. It might be a little more fair.
Oh man, that all starts in Vegas. That our path.
Yes,
for
yeah,
that
yeah,
starts
right.
in Vegas. It
Yeah.
all starts.
There'll be a line of demarcation of Alan goes to Vegas,
That's
and
right.
then 3 days later, Alan Styles headlines All-Star Saturday.
That's right,
dude. I would be
The
so
celebrity
honored.
game.
Who would Alan shoot? out
Honestly,
against?
my whole.
Then you're on around the
I
horn.
need one celebrity. I need one celebrity game under my belt before I go 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can get there
Yeah.
with your help.
You're gonna have to surpass some real talent, and I'm ready to see that.
We got it. We got to happen. My Achilles will be ready.
Yeah. I think you just
We'll be
have to
ready.
make a YouTube channel and like upload a couple videos, and
just
that's
pop.
like the only requirements, because they have, especially now, the term celebrity is never stretched more than it is in the NBA celebrity.
That's
game.
right.
It's a lot of.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Wait, the drummer for Arcade
Right.
Fire?
Yeah.
Excuse me. The
Great.
secretary of. Wait,
Hey, he
what?
could hoop, though.
He could hoop.
He
No,
could
both
hoop.
of those fools could hoop.
He could hoop. And, you sit here, hey, flagship, bad boys of the midday.
Kings on the up.
You're gonna
Kings
need
on the up.
5 all-stars from the Kings to even consider, and they're gonna go to Dave first.
No, okay.
They're gonna be
well,
like,
Dave will
Dave.
say no.
Yeah.
Dave will say
Dave
no.
said, I don't go
The
to
whole
games.
starting lineup is gonna have to be Kings. They're like, all right, we got it. We got to get someone from Sacramento, I
Yeah,
guess.
no,
Kings,
Cat Williams lived there. What
I
can we
gotta
do?
make my
Tom
way up
Hanks
the
went to college
hierarchy.
there.
Jay Johnson.
I'm too low on the hierarchy, but it starts now. We're only 3 months in here. This is we are in phase 1 of celebrity basketball game. They're going to ask Dave, hey, do you want to be in this game? And Dave's going to say no, but during the All-Star game, can you make sure everybody says, DeMontis Sabonis? That's all he's going to care about. That's all he's going to care about. Yeah, hey.
Still not going to work.
It's still not going to work. It's still not going to work. Got to get to a break. When we get back, you want Jimmy Butler in Sacramento? Chris Watkins might. Same with Nate. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Specialize in saving the day. And for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-220-6697 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-220-6697. That's 800-220-6697. What do you have to lose? Call 800-220-6697. Again, 800-220-6697.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
At Elk Grove Kia, we get it. Life happens. We believe in second chances. Have repos, late payments, or faced bankruptcy? No problem. Our finance department is top-notch and ready to make miracles happen. No need to worry about money down. At Elk Grove Kia, you can drive away today with $0 out of pocket. Visit us at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Your second chance to drive the car of your dreams is just a visit away. Elk Grove Kia, where we turn obstacles into opportunities. Dare to drive differently.
Elk Grove Kia.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
We are 1 hour away from Eddie Griffin ticket giveaway. 2 tickets, 1 pair of tickets to see Eddie Griffin April 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline in an hour. 916-339-1140. Chris is picking the number today. You want to pick it now or you want to pick it later?
I'll pick it later. Yeah, I don't want I don't want anyone, sources finding out or anything like that.
Okay, we got sources here.
Yeah,
we definitely have sources, and apparently there are sources that say that Jimmy Butler might not be finishing his career with the Miami Heat as he has said that he wants to. Is this based on Kendrick Perkins? We haven't really heard too much else, but Bovada has already come out with odds, and interesting enough, the Kings are number 3, shortest odds to land Jimmy Butler. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what that package looks like. And I'm telling you right now, there's no way this gets done without Keegan Murray. So why are we even having this conversation?
Can we try and get it done without Keegan Murray?
You can try. You can try to sell me.
Here we go. Let's do.
I'm Pat Riley.
All right, hold on.
My hair's slicked back now.
It looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is that? Is that pomade in your hair?
Wow,
it looks
something.
fantastic.
It's true.
You look tall.
It
Just stay like
okay.
that.
Why'd you have to go there, man? They're on me on the YouTube.
That's a
channel.
low blow.
While you're figuring
Dude,
this
you
out.
said 6 feet under, and I was like, come on, Alan. What are you doing?
What? That's where they send you.
Yeah.
Were you saying I could stand up in my
6
casket?
feet, man.
You're getting a lot of love in the chat too, Alan, for your post today.
Hey,
congratulations, man.
Shout out to career growth. All right. 916-339-1140. Chris, while you figure that out, let's go to our guy Steven, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Steven? You know what it is, Stiles and Watkins. What you got for us?
Am I still on the minutes restriction or what?
Actually, I forgot. Nate needs to see because I'm getting Ron Burgundy here. I forgot you were in timeout, but you're here now.
I didn't even screen his call.
Here now. It would be rude and unprofessional for you to hang up on a caller.
That's right. That's right. You know, but if you say the magic words, I
will. Nate, have that dump button ready, baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do it. All
right.
I kind of wanted to get on. Sorry, we got a bunch of work going on here. I wanted to get on. I just wanted to bring up the point about the Pro Bowl and the All-Star games and stuff like that, right? So I watched a little clip the other day that showcased all the quarterbacks doing the longest throw competition.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see Brett Favre and Jamarcus Russell like how they used to. throw the ball 72 yards on a single knee. Like, can we see some of that action again?
Yes.
Like those skills competitions. I want to see defensive linemen do 35 reps of 325. You know what I'm saying? Like, they used to do dang near combine stuff for the Pro Bowl. And honestly, I don't know why they went away from it, because that was prime Pro Bowl stuff. They don't go to Hawaii anymore like they used to, because it used to be, just the big bright lights of, the Honolulu, I guess.
Right.
But, yeah, dude, that was my point, man. What happened to all that? And can we get back to that aspect? Instead of like trying to be, like the new greatest thing, let's create a new idea or something. Like, dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because that was some of the best Pro Bowls I've ever seen, honestly.
No, thanks.
Hey, that Sean Taylor hit on the quarter
that's not happening
that one day.
Yeah, well, that's not happening anymore. That's not happening. Thanks for the call, Steven. Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument, because I was going to say somebody chucking a ball as hard as they could. Are there injury concerns? But again, if you're playing flag football, that is just as sketchy to me as this combine type stuff and running. And because, Cheetah was trying to race a bunch of people all the time. So fun things like that, where there could be an argument about injury. I think that you can make the same argument about flag football, because to Nate's point, that's not necessarily something that you practice and do very, very often. Yeah, I hear you on that. But getting back to Jimmy Butler, and Kendrick Perkins had audio yesterday about moving Jimmy Butler that we played. Basically, they're not going to make a run with Jimmy Butler. They're not going to they can get to the promised land, but they're not going to win with Jimmy Butler. So now the conversation is, well, where's Jimmy Butler going to go? The New York Knicks have the best odds, then the Sixers, then the Kings. He'd be great. Let me say it like this. His personality would be great in Sacramento. I don't know if he fits what the Kings want to do, but his personality would be great in Sacramento. Next, you have the Brooklyn Nets. Then you have the Mavericks. Him with Kyrie would be a nightmare. And actually, Luka might need somebody like Jimmy to tell him, stop complaining. That would just
Jimmy
blow
don't
up.
like that. I don't know. That sounds like a Minnesota situation part 2 there.
Yeah, and the last team on the list, the Golden State Warriors. Chris, did you come up with something to convince me I'm Pat Riley now?
So. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if or how many picks would need to be involved in this, but I got at least a trade that would work, and it does involve a name that Kings fans probably aren't going to be excited about. But if you're looking to take this next level, these are the kind of risks you got to take, or at least be willing to part with. So I've got a couple of old reliable pieces in there. I've got HB, his $17 million contract. By the way, the toughest part about this is matching Jimmy Butler's salary. $45 million this year, $48 million the following season. Then 2025-26, he has a $52 million player option. And he will be, at that point, he will be age 36. He'll be going into his age 36 season.
I'm out.
Making $52 million. And again, this is a risk, but you're getting Jimmy Butler for about 3 years here. You're trading off Harrison Barnes in the 3 years remaining on his contract. You're trading Davion Mitchell and the $5 million on his contract. You're trading Chris Duarte in the 2 years of $4 million left on his deal. And the piece that I don't think Kings fans are going to like, but it's required, because if you're not going to give up Keegan Murray, Malik Monk and his $9 million brings that to a total of $36 million, which is enough to complete that deal straight up for Jimmy Butler.
One more time.
Harrison Barnes, Malik Monk, Davion Mitchell, and Chris Duarte for Jimmy Butler. Potentially another first-round pick on top of that if you feel like that's not enough, but that would probably be the package that you would have to keep
Herder.
You would keep Herder. So Herder would your starting lineup at that point would be Fox, Herder, Butler, Murray, Sabonis. You would have Keon Ellis as your backup point guard. You would have Colby Jones as your backup 2, I guess, in this case. This is about raising the ceiling. It is definitely not helping out your floor. Your bench contributors would probably be Trey Lyles. Sasha would get an elevated role. Colby Jones probably has to play some minutes. Jordan Ford might get some minutes. But you're really relying on your starting five at that point, which is okay. There's a lot of teams don't rely on their depth, but you're banking on top end talent really coming through there.
I'm not the biggest Jimmy Butler guy as far as on the court, so I'm going to say it's a no for me, dog, but I'm sure there's someone out there. I'm sure there's people out there that wouldn't.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Is that from you, Nate? Or is that from Randy Jackson?
That's from Randy and Allen.
That's from Randy and Allen.
I think that it's definitely a really big risk because of Jimmy's age and getting rid of Malik. Again, we've talked about it in the past, but that's got to be if you feel confident that you can sign Malik Monk and you have confidence from hearing from Malik, not just internal confidence, then I think it's tough to move on from him. But if you have no idea, if you truly are like, hey, Malik just kind of told us he's going to play out this year and we'll talk in the offseason, I think you've got to consider it. I think just off of the risk of potentially getting nothing back, you're trading off Harrison Barnes. If you're trading Harrison Barnes, you're not going to get a better player than Jimmy Butler or even, Jeremy Grant and Kyle Kuzma. I would say, even if you don't like how Jimmy plays, those guys are just a little bit at best below Jimmy Butler. So you're getting max value, I would say, for HB. Davion's probably gone after this year anyway, and Duarte has been completely. He's been useless to Mike Brown. He doesn't play him if he's not starting. So, in my eyes, you're getting
what a crazy line you just said.
Yeah.
He doesn't play him if he's not.
If he's not starting, he just doesn't play. And even when he does start, he only gets like one stint.
10 minutes.
It's like, we're not going to do that again. So, in my eyes, you're really only giving up. You're swapping HB for Butler, and you're giving up on Malik Monk.
That's well done. That is well done.
Yeah.
That is well done.
Again, that's not including first round picks if Miami would want.
I don't care about picks.
Yeah. Well, the Kings should.
Well, they should.
They should.
From the 209, I'd roll with Monk and Duarte. Did not expect to see that. I forgot Duarte was on the team.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm saying no. I guess why am I saying no if I forgot Duarte is on the team?
So is this more of a Jimmy Butler thing for people?
For me, yes. That same 209 says Jimmy Butler is massively overrated.
I think personality-wise, and you said it, you even admitted to it, I think Jimmy Butler is the perfect, from Mike Brown's perspective, is the perfect personality. And I think, I think people might be a little scared off of his time in Minnesota, the outburst, if we'll call it that he had in Minnesota. But I think a big part of that was Jimmy Butler read the room and said, there's no dogs in here. And if anything, it's a really good detector to have, because I would love to know if Jimmy Butler feels out the Kings for a couple weeks, or even if it's for a half a season, and if what he would have to say about, okay, like I can roll with these guys, or nah, like we got a bunch of.
But that's not how
it
works. You don't get you don't get a sample, and to say actually it's not going to work. Because then what do? Because
you do what he did in Minnesota, and you raise hell at a practice, and you pretty much say trade.
Yeah. Have you heard that story Jeff Teague tells about
phenomenal
about Jimmy Butler coming into practice angry, taking the scout squad, the backups, and crushing
everybody,
the starters.
Everybody.
If you haven't heard that, look that up. That story is awesome.
And that's the kind of thing that the Kings need. Again, Mike Brown has been calling out the internal leadership. It led to the whole podium gate thing.
No, I hear you.
I don't think that we have to ever question accountability or toughness or, Kings sleepwalking against Memphis or getting beat by Portland. And I know Miami's on a 7-game losing streak right now, but I think if Jimmy Butler walks into a situation, I think he's going to be on 10. I think he's going to say, this is my last chance realistically to win anywhere. I'm not going to allow the other people to screw this up.
Basically.
And there's a give and take with that, because Jimmy's not Michael Jordan. He is not going to come in, and he's not going to be, he's going to be incredible.
Well, there is a rumor.
He's not. I've seen that before.
There's a conspiracy theory.
But Jimmy's not going to come in and be LeBron James. He's not going to come in and be head and shoulder. De'Aaron Fox is probably still going to be the best player on the team, but I think Jimmy Butler just helps so much from the attitude perspective. It gives this team an edge and a bit of accountability that they just don't have.
But I don't know if I need Jimmy on the team or if I like
the idea.
After Jimmy's done playing, he could actually just be a consultant.
Yeah.
And you pay for
The
Jimmy
UD
to
role.
come in
Yeah.
and you just, hey, Jimmy, I need you to sniff out how many dogs we have on this team.
Yep.
And Jimmy just goes from team to team. He got to go. He got to go. He got to go.
Yeah.
You can stay with him. You can roll with him.
You're cool. You're cool.
You got. I'm looking here, Vivek. You got about 2.5 dogs on your team.
Yeah.
Got to start all over. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, continue the conversation about Jimmy Butler. Do you want him in Sacramento? But at what cost? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row.
He scores again. Harrison Barnes is just in fuego.
It's the Kings and the Heat from Miami, Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings. Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
A story that we had brought up on this show last week is continuing to evolve. So I mentioned this last week where the TCU women's basketball team, due to injuries and players being ineligible, they did not have enough players on their team.
Yeah.
So they held open tryouts. Well, Chris, turns out that they had to cancel games, right? So they had to cancel a game on the 20th. They just couldn't play. They didn't have enough players, right? They canceled 2 games. So they hold open tryouts. And as we know, a lot of different people, when they go to school, they're pretty good players.
Yeah.
And they just decide, either I don't want to do the work or I don't think I'm good enough, whatever it is. So TCU holds these open tryouts, and obviously you have to be enrolled at TCU. Right. Turns out the Horned Frogs found out they had multiple state title winning players enrolled on campus as normal students, and they have been signed as walk-ons. This was last week on Front Office Sports. They beat UCF 60-66, and they just lost to Texas on Saturday, Texas Tech, 65-71. So they're competitive.
Yeah, they got real players.
They got real players just
my
hanging out. You might just fall into an NIL deal, and you were just in school.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, for all those people out there that played intramural, I feel like you know that, though. You've been like, excuse me, what is this fool doing?
Yes.
Not on the team. Why are you? And, you know, I know it's the ladies' team, but it's like everywhere has so much talent. And, you know, kids, they give up on for the reasons you listed. Like you think you're not good enough or you're just done with the sport. I mean, there's so many people just sitting there in college campuses who could definitely help. And that's crazy.
It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts to.
You said at TCU?
At TCU, that's Big 12. That is Big 12 basketball. That is Big 12 basketball. I'm trying to confirm because it was posted last week, but I don't see how they sat 2 games and then they beat USF. So some of those walk-ons must have been playing.
They must have been.
They only ran out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They only ran out 7. So
I guess maybe they didn't have to then.
Right. But I don't think that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This is right here. TCU hosted open basketball tryouts in the middle of the season due to injury. A 6'3" sophomore from the volleyball team showed up, and she made it this week, a month after volleyball.
6'3"?
This week, a month after volleyball ended, Sarah Sylvester began her college career as a college basketball player.
How does that work for eligibility? Like if you were a sophomore on the volleyball team, does your eligibility, would you still be a sophomore for the basketball? Does that make sense? Is that a dumb question? Like, do you have 4 years of basketball eligibility on top of your volleyball eligibility, or does it all kind of leak over into each other?
I think they're different clocks. So that's, the Brandon Whedons and Russell Wilson.
Right.
So they're different clocks.
So you could play.
So she's a sophomore, but she's a freshman.
Right. That was as
a basketball player.
That's insane.
If she wants to be. Yeah. It says that game on UCF, they were missing 4 starters. So I would assume, and they were on SportsCenter about this. So I'm assuming that they had some of these walk-ons who weren't even playing just out there. Just out there doing their thing. All right, getting back to the
Ohio State probably just has a football team that could probably compete for the 2-way title.
Oh yeah, something like that. So shout out to
casually
TCU
on campus.
Women's basketball. You never know what you got just walking around campus.
Yeah.
707 wants to talk about Jimmy Butler. That's a HE double hockey 6. Yes, on Jimmy Butler. If it could be done without Murray, it's a no-brainer. You know what, Chris?
We didn't talk about that from Miami side. Is that good enough for Miami?
I don't think so. But now that I know it's not, now you got the Kentucky connection with Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
And
Malik and Bam.
I feel like we can. Yeah, Malik and Bam.
Kentuckies,
right? But you said
and
Fox,
Tyler Hero. There's another Kentucky.
And Tyler Hero. That's
3
3
Kentuckies.
of them. But do we have to keep doing the Kentucky thing because there's 8,000 of them in the NBA?
No.
That's just what it is right now.
Random coincidence.
I don't know why would the Heat do that, right? So who's your number 1 now? You're
transitioning to the Tyler, Bam, Jaquez era. Like they just got rid of Kyle Lowry the other day.
You can't do that after going to the finals. That's the problem.
That's what I would say. But if they just feel like overall they're disappointed with where they're at this point, which I think is the 7 seed in the East, they're 2 games, I think, above 500 right now. I mean, it just kind of depends on where they feel like they're at in their timeline. If they feel like this is the end of the timeline and you're probably not going to get a better deal for Jimmy next year, then I could see how, you'd rather, what's the Bill Belichick thing is I'd rather get rid of somebody a year too early than a year too late. And Heat culture is a bit about that as well, where it's like, hey, it's what have you done for me lately?
But you're Miami. You can get free agents, and Jimmy Butler has already said he wants to retire a Miami Heat.
Yeah, no, it's a matter of if they feel like Jimmy Butler's at that level of being a star, the number 1 option on a team, though, because I don't know. It's kind of like the Warriors, where they're a bit in 2 timelines, and it's like you can either really try and get all you can out of this run with Jimmy, or you can trade off Jimmy or Clay or Steph or Draymond, and you could start to usher in those younger guys into, hey, Heat culture for the next 10 years instead of it possibly being over in 2 or 3.
Heat culture never ends.
I think it could. You take Pat Riley out of there. You got UD's out of there now. It's just kind of
Where Pat Riley going?
No, he's how celebrity birthdays. How old is Pat Riley? How old is Pat Riley? I'm saying 80.
Didn't he recently have a birthday?
Sure. Pat Riley. 78 years old.
Oh, he's got time.
Okay.
That's
he's constructing the teams. How old Bill Belichick in
72?
Pete Carroll just quit.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't keep a finger on the pulse the same way anymore. Pat Riley's literally an NBA lifer.
Yeah.
So, at some point you got to hang it up at some point.
Right.
I would think.
All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, the Kings Roundtable with our Sactown Sports Kings insiders, Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunes. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Kings look to extend their win streak to 5 in a row.
He scores again. Harrison Barnes is just in fuego.
It's the Kings and the Heat from Miami, Wednesday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings. Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizep, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive. Government Mule. Live in concert. 30 Years Strong Tour. Friday, February 16th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Government Mule with special guest Lucas Nelson and POTR. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. New album, Peace Like a River, is in stores now. Don't miss Government Mule live.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Right now, American Energy offering $0 HVAC diagnostics. That's normally $99 for nothing. Let the American Energy team test your system, connections, and all the moving parts of your system to ensure it's functioning properly. Let me say that again. $0 to get your HVAC diagnostic-ted. That's not even a word. That's normally $100. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. That's what American Energy does. That's what they've done since 1981. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since then. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Do it before January 31st or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Bradley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Kings Roundtable is coming at you right now for the next hour. Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez, our Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. Fellas, how you doing? I see, Brendan, you got the Niners hat on.
Yeah.
You were in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Great time. You know, I'm having a great time. Can't complain, man.
Good.
Living my best life.
Good. Niners win. Kings 4-game winning streak. Frankie, how you doing? Yankees, you're wearing your Yankees gear. Yankees are the Yankees. That's always good.
They are almost spring training, almost spring training. No, I'm doing good. Brennan, how was it experiencing that game? I mean, mixed reviews on going to games. Like when the sun went down, was it better? I mean, because again, the only game I've ever gone to at Levi Stadium was during the day, and I got completely destroyed by the sun.
Yeah, it's only the second time that I've been at Levi's, and definitely a little bit of tough sun at first, but it was cold, so I could just kind of take off a layer and then, do all right. And as the sun went down, the game got a little bit better and, had a few more beverages potentially.
Yeah,
so I stayed a little warm.
That's how you stay warm.
You considered leaving, didn't you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. No.
What is wrong with you? See, you could tell that this guy's a bandwagon fan.
Boy, you
you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that.
Where is the wagon?
His
I don't know
Niner
where
fan.
the wagon is. So I was in the media room, and everyone is just silent as a mouse in there anyway. So you really couldn't tell. But it did feel like the Lions, there was always that glimmer, right? And when they didn't get that 4th and 2, it was the first two sequences in that second half. I think everybody felt, Journey playing. Everybody felt like, let's see what happens on these first 2 drives from the Lions and the Niners before it's really done, right? I mean, everybody was saying it was done, but I don't think it was always, I mean, there are only a couple scores, but it was those first 2 drives in the second half. At least that's what it felt like. They weren't done.
Yeah, the Don't Stop Believin' really started it. That halftime performance, it was just picture perfect. Not a great performance, by the way.
Wow.
They didn't do it. They didn't do it like
Can you
on
say
the
that?
field. They did it kind of like
No, I
off
was
to the
looking. I
side.
couldn't see where they were.
It was super weird.
Yeah.
Super
They
weird.
put
I was
Journey in a
really
corner?
excited to see Journey.
No one put
And
Journey in a corner.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Well, I'm glad that the Niners figured it out. We are headed out to Radio Row next week, so we will be live and in the building in Vegas. So we got you plenty of different guests that you will hear from. But now it is Kings Roundtable, and let's get straight to it and continue the conversation. This is probably a moot point because you got to consider who the source is, but there are Jimmy Butler conversations now being had. Chris cooked up a deal that I think most of us would be okay with. Even if you're not the biggest Jimmy Butler guy like me, the question is, would the Miami Heat want to do it? And essentially it was Malik Monk, Harrison Barnes, Chris Duarte, Davion Mitchell, and was there anyone else, Chris?
Nope, that was it.
And a pick,
Possibly.
right, for Jimmy Butler.
First question.
Yeah.
This is just kind of taking into account that the Kings in this scenario they don't feel confident they will be able to retain Malik Monk.
That's what I said pretty much. Yeah.
If you're at that point, and again, if the behind the scenes conversations got to a point where the Kings know to a certain extent what they can offer Malik Monk. They kind of know what the maximum they can offer him is. And if he's saying, I'm going to go play the field, yeah, I mean, I'd be intrigued. I mean, I know, Brendan, I think you're definitely a Jimmy Butler guy, I think.
Absolutely.
So you're fully on board, right?
Yeah, I love Jimmy. I feel like me and Chris have had conversations about like who's pie in the sky, guy not available right now, but could become down the line. That'd be perfect. And we both mentioned Jimmy Butler as like that sort of guy, right, Chris?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I mean, I think that the energy that he brings to the team, we talk about like an accountability and leadership on the court, right? And coming from a guy that is a key contributor, I think is exactly what Jimmy Butler brings. And while the 3-point shooting isn't great, I think he does enough to get by in that aspect. He's an extremely smart player, really versatile on defense.
He makes them when he needs to.
He
those
does.
threes.
And, he doesn't have to have the same production for the entire game when you have Fox and Sabonis out there. I think that he is a really good like 2A, 2B on a team.
Yeah, I think on his bad nights, he's doing what you want HB to be doing. Like there'll be nights where you look at Jimmy Butler and you look at his stat line and it's like, how did Jimmy score 12 points but he has like 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He dove for loose balls and he probably made the biggest stop of the game or hit a really clutch turnaround jumper. He's the kind of guy who you just every coach would want on your team and say, that is a winning basketball player. I trust that in the final moments of the game, that dude's going to make the right decision and probably be somewhere where no one would expect him to be and make the right play.
But the same way you sit there and say, Levine, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, does that move the needle in terms of a championship, right?
Yeah.
Butler, Fox, Sabonis, does that move the needle in terms of
so.
championship?
He's just way better.
I think so. I mean,
and I just use Levine as an example of the guys that have been floated around.
And the kind of guy that Jimmy just is, too, having a guy like that in that lineup, man.
It's literally what they need.
It's what they need. I mean, and we've talked about, I mean, again, like last summer, it was like the Draymond Green conversation. There were a lot of people that were open to the Kings bringing Draymond Green on into the fold. Jimmy Butler is not quite to that extent, but he brings that edge, and he is also still a very talented basketball player. And he can do a lot more than Draymond Green. I mean, not quite a knock on Draymond Green, kind of is though, but it's Jimmy Butler. But again, you have to take into account the money, the age. I think he's 34.
Yeah, 34, and by the time his contract's up, you'd be making $52 million at 36.
When does that contract end?
So he has this year at 47. The next year is he has 2 more seasons after this.
So that kind of would go
but it's a player option for that second.
But that also would go hand in hand with Keegan Murray, who again,
right? That's a good point.
That's the biggest caveat. And like even like Bobby Marks from ESPN, he's like a salary cap expert for ESPN, had a point. And a lot of people have made this point already, but I listened to his
Kings trade prepper or whatever.
Kings trade deadline like preview, kind of saying that they have to kind of take that into account. Do they want to be paying 3 max contracts? And then you have to figure out Keegan Murray. Like, well, if you have a contract that aligns with Keegan Murray's free agency, that might be the best scenario. And again, for someone who probably will be over the hump by the time his contract is over, Jimmy Butler would be a very ideal piece. Now, again, I don't think Miami will move him. Like all of this being said, I doubt Miami will move him. They have a winning record. They've lost 7 in a row, but they just traded for Terry Rozier, which makes me believe that they are still trying to make a move.
That's a good point.
I can't see Pat Riley waving a white flag at this point, but if they were, this losing streak goes to 10, 12, if it got exaggerated, exaggerated. Yeah, I would be a fan of that.
I'm not against the move. I'm not against Chris's trade proposal, but I don't think it moves the needle that much, if that makes sense. I would do the deal, but I wouldn't wake up in the morning saying the Kings have a real shot at this. I guess I'm just low on Jimmy.
What's your hesitation? I'm just curious.
Marcus Morris. Come on now.
What if they got both?
Now we're talking if you got both. No, but come on. Look, I'm just low on Jimmy, the basketball player.
Okay.
I understand. I think you guys are getting caught up in the Tobias Harris over me. And the Kings do need that.
But that's his attitude.
But the Kings do need that, though.
When's the last time Rachel Nichols has been at a Kings practice?
This guy's crazy.
I don't know.
You never know.
I mean, well, how about the fact that Jimmy just lifted his team from an 8 seed through 2 rounds and took a Celtics he went to the finals. I mean, he took that Celtics team to 7 and went to the finals. And that was him. They didn't have Tyler Hero last year.
That is what they need. I'm not saying don't do the deal. That deal. Don't touch Keegan. Okay, no Keegan.
No Keegan.
Okay, Jimmy Butler.
I think that we're looking at potentially like the blueprint. You bring in a guy whose contract expires and maybe the prime of his career expires before Keegan Murray reaches that point. That might be the new plan. I mean, maybe that's something that Monty McNair's looking at. But I think Jimmy Butler fits that bill. I don't know who else fits that bill as far as who's available on the trade market. Like, again, a Paul George maybe would fit that if he wasn't going to be leaving LA, which it sounds like he'll probably re-sign with LA. Kawhi Leonard just did. They have a new stadium opening up in the fall. But no, Keegan Murray needs to be a focal point of this team. Like we've seen, the defensive metrics are there. He is a two-way player now.
Oh, no, we saw the isolation percentages when he is the isolated defender. It's really starting to look like he's going to figure this thing out. Defensively, look, all I'm saying, I'm not saying don't do the deal. What I'm saying is that you're going to get some great years out of Jimmy. He's going to give Sacramento hope. He's going to help the team mature. But it's going to end, Frankie, and depending on what Keegan is at that point, you're going to have to find somebody else to really put you in that conversation. Jimmy makes you a legit playoff entity, but I don't think you're going to win the whole thing adding Jimmy. But I do think
a lot closer.
But I do
He's your
think,
Aaron Gordon.
But I do think he helps to mature the team and whatever that contract is. Okay, so now De'Aaron's in the heat of his prime. Keegan starting his prime. You still got Sabonis. You're gonna have to get somebody else. What I'm saying is this is just the next phase. This is a phase to me. This isn't championship phase.
But how else do you get to that? You need a bridge, if anything. Like, I mean, you have to.
But I'm saying, I'm saying it's a bridge. Others are not.
That's fair. And I think that's fine, though, is that you can go.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right. Because you can go. They got the Nuggets. I know it's just the parallel we keep drawing to, but I think
You
that
love
it's
Aaron
fair.
Gordon.
Bobby Marks brought it up.
Would you rather
it's
have
fair.
Jimmy Butler or Aaron Gordon? Or Dorian Finney-Smith? I'm kidding.
Probably Jimmy between all of them, really.
Yeah.
And I think that they went and got Aaron Gordon during a deadline, I believe it was, and then waited an entire year before they went and got KCP in the middle of a season.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jimmy locked up. I think that Frankie's point of lining up with Keegan's contract and his rookie deal makes a lot of sense.
That's a good point.
And it's the first step. It doesn't take you to a championship team.
Okay, we can
but
agree
it's
on
that
that.
first step. Say you go get a Dorian Finney-Smith also, or a Kyle Kuzma, guys that maybe 1-2 first-round picks, if you could still make that work with what you have left, or something small, quote unquote, KCP sort of level, right? If we're going with that, like, I think it's fine that it's a first step.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, we bring things back to reality, and the reality of the conversation is the Sacramento Kings hold an all-time record of 5-30 in Miami. Do they break that or get to 6 today? Stiles and Watkins with the Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. We'll be right back.
It was a comeback for the ages Sunday in Santa Clara.
Going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the deflected. Caught. Ayuk caught it out of the air.
The 49ers saved their best for last and now have earned a trip to Las Vegas to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's over. The Niners are going to Vegas.
Join us for Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th, on your home of the NFL, Sactown Sports.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets for a weekend of non-stop bucking action this February 2nd through 4th.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health Sacramento. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
15 minutes away from our Eddie Griffin ticket giveaway. A pair of tickets to see Eddie Griffin at Hard Rock Sacramento. Thanks to Live Nation, who has teamed up with Sactown Sports. That's in 15 minutes. We'll let you know what caller in 15 minutes. 916-339-1140. By the way, you have a question or a comment for the guys, Brendan Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli, our Sactown Sports Kings Insiders. Guys, just quickly, from the 916, we were talking about the Joel Embiid situation earlier and the 65 games, and Tyrese Halliburton's not happy, Draymond's not happy. Solutions, can we get some solutions? 916 says, can I get an explanation to why NBA players can't restructure a contract? I don't know if that they're saying based on how much they play or how much they don't play, but I would just say it's probably a logistical nightmare.
I mean, I would imagine so. I mean, right? I mean, right now in the middle of everything,
if you play a certain amount of games, but I do think they have incentives like that, right?
Right, they do.
It's just the problem is they make too much money either way.
Have you guys talked about that this morning at all, or have you started that conversation? Because we were talking about it. Brendan and I were talking about just like what is the easy solution, just to bump it back or bump it, I guess, forward.
62,
yeah.
We talked for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't think we came up with
60
a better
feels
answer.
low.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, 17 games though, I guess to be fair, isn't really that much time missed. Like it's not like, I mean, that's not even 20. Like you say someone misses 20 games, that sounds like a lot, but I mean 17. So do you push it back just to 20 or 25?
Yeah,
and call it
62.
good?
So maybe 62 is where it is. And but to Chris's point, it's just like the All-Star, and there's always a snub. Someone's going to play 61 and he's going to have the best stats and he's not going to be eligible. So someone's always going to be unhappy, but maybe if you went to 20, are we not having this conversation if there were 3 more games?
Right. Like I don't think that
Probably
changes
not.
the conversation. Yeah.
Right.
Probably not. But no, again, it's tough. There's a lot of talent in the NBA right now, and people are going to get passed over for stuff like that. I mean, and people are going to try to push themselves through ailments they probably shouldn't be playing through because, I mean, personal accolades. I mean, people might say, well, it's the name on the front that matters. Sure. But I think it got pointed out that this is costing people money. Like I think Tyrese Halliburton's going to miss out on, I think, $40-50 million.
That's
on
the
his next
big
contract.
problem. That's what I was going to say is the big problem is the fact that it's tied to your money.
Yeah. So
like you can't have these awards and games played end up affecting how much money you can make in the long run.
Yeah, the whole name on the front argument, it's like, okay, that's great. Sure. Yeah, the team winning matters most. I understand that. But these
team's
guys,
not winning
these
without
guys are trying
guys
to
with the name on their back.
they're trying to set up the rest of their lives. Yeah, and you're costing them money because they're going to play in 64 games and 65. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting.
I never pieced together how it goes hand in hand with the year that they dropped the rule of star players have to play if they're healthy. Like it seems like, and I never noticed this at the moment, that it's just another effort to get star players on the floor as much as possible, and pushing to even through an injury, at times I think is fine. But if it's a night that medical team said you probably shouldn't, but you're really trying to work to get to that bigger contract, like that's a tough spot to be in. And I liked the rule when they first dropped it. I think it could be lowered a handful of games. I also think that voters can just factor it in themselves.
We talked about that. Yeah. We talked about that. Yeah.
You know what the real joke is too of all of this is me and Alan were talking earlier. All of this really did start because of Kawhi. Funny thing is Kawhi has played more basketball this season than he has all year long,
Right.
all career
So
long,
that-
pretty much.
That's why
that's the inverse of this thing doesn't work. Well, Kawhi Leonard has played 41 games so far this year. So, it's clearly working for some people.
Yeah, and then for Adam Silver, and Chris reminded me of this, to come out last season, I think it was during the All-Star break, and say we don't have a load management issue. And then enter this
That was
rule
funny.
that makes absolutely no sense. There's always going to be somebody upset about the amount, and now they all got microphones, so they're going to be saying a bunch of things as well. The bottom line is just, we all know what we're trying to prevent, okay? How it gets prevented seems to be the issue. And they're just going to be nights. I don't know. Is there a sign off with the training staff to where the training staff works for the team, not the player? And now you have
maybe independent doctors even
right,
sign
or the
off?
training staff says, hey, this person is good to go. This person is not.
Doctor's notes.
Seriously.
No,
and if it doesn't get, and if it does get signed, it does not count against you. If it doesn't get signed and it was, hey, I think he's good, then it's like, hey, brother, this person who went to school for a very long time says you're good to go.
But then there's also, I mean, there is HIPAA. Like you can't disclose all of your medical information
It's
out
a
there.
mess.
Like it can't be completely public. So
It's a mess.
It's a slippery slope that they've definitely stumbled into here. And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because it seems like one of those things where no matter what you do, you're going to upset somebody.
Yeah.
And Sam Amick wrote a piece in this as well. I think he was last night. He was at the game at Chase Center, and it sounds like, and again, I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not, that the NBA Player Association wasn't even briefed on this. It just kind of was put into effect.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like that's something that might have to happen in order for this not to get messier, for all these questions we're kind of going through to get answered. I think the players in the league need to come to an agreement and be on the same page, because right now there's not on the same page at all. And I think that's what Kelly Oubre was saying last night, just that we never heard about it, and just saying how people are going at Embiid for missing the Sixers Nuggets game, like how he's getting a lot of flack online.
That's something different. That's something different.
But he's clearly hurt. And then last night he tries to play and gets hurt. And
but Frankie, Nick Nurse said it was a separate injury.
Separate injury, but he was laboring before. He shouldn't have been out there to begin with. Were you watching the game?
I actually can't tell when Joel Embiid is or isn't healthy.
I agree.
he just
last night he went to the locker room for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And he clearly was not right. And I think someone else that in this piece too, that, probably wouldn't have played if it was not for the 65 game rule. Like he's trying to win his second MVP, and he probably would be deserving of it if he played, more than half the season.
I don't think that's why he didn't play. I think he didn't play because of the cyberbullying. Joel Embiid, the way he's pacing, there was no way he was going to stay. He was going to get to 65.
And we talked to the Philly guy. What was that, 2 weeks ago? And he said pretty much the same thing, that Embiid had given up on the 65
he wants
games.
The big
and this
one.
is about the playoffs.
He wants the big one. There's just so many different layers to this, and that seems to be the issue right now. Guys, just to pivot to the Kings and their game tonight. So we've had these conversations about they hadn't won. They had lost how many straight to the Sixers? They had on the road, or just in general.
I believe it's 12 in a row.
Same thing with the Bucks, right? Mm-hmm. The Heat, the issue is just playing in Miami. Frankie, you put out a tweet. They are 5-30 in Miami. I don't know if the Kings have broken any of these bad streaks this season. Here's another opportunity. The Heat are laboring. They could come out shot out of a cannon tonight. What do you think happens in Miami?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, all the Miami flu jokes are everywhere. I mean,
Chris loves a Miami.
They had a full off day yesterday.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
It does not matter.
Brother, it's the end of January on a Tuesday in Miami.
You think they weren't excited? Middle of a road trip.
Come on. G-Man posted that they didn't get into the hotel until like 3:45.
I did see that
yesterday.
So they
morning.
could just go
There's
straight
no way.
to see Lil Boozy like I did.
I feel like this isn't that kind of team, though. It doesn't seem like the kind of team that would have guys out late in Miami. Like, I know for a fact there are a handful of guys on the team that don't even drink. So, I just feel like this isn't really that kind of team.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think it really matters with that. It just kind of is like one of those weird anomalies. And again, like you mentioned, the Kings have had these kinds of games before. They had a chance to break, I think, a 17-game losing streak to the Bucks this year. That didn't happen. And again, you're playing a Miami team who is, I don't want to say like desperate, but they're playing with, a very high sense of urgency, losing 7 in a row after making a move to bring in Terry Rozier, which is a clear buy move. Mm-hmm. They're going to come out and play very, very hard and aggressive tonight. I think Spoelstra said they had a very
long film session.
Long, intense film session, and he wouldn't elaborate until it's none of your business what we talked about, what we pinpointed. To the media, it's all due respect, none of your business. So I think it's fair to expect a very high intense game from Jimmy Butler, who again, is Keegan Murray going to be the player who picks him up? Because watching them go back and forth is going to be hilarious. Maybe could be Jimmy Butler's kryptonite, because I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to be able to break Keegan Murray. So
no,
interesting matchup for sure. A very good temperature. Just check on where the Kings are right now. A chance to win 5 in a row. Start up the road trip 4-0. But yeah, that 5-30 is just really insane to look at.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a scary one for me. I think this is going to be a close game. Miami's half-court offense really struggles throughout the course of the season, and I think the Kings have kind of shown a trend. You go back, to that, obviously, that first quarter in Memphis where you give a team that's not very good offensively a little bit of hope, a little bit of life on that end. They see a couple shots go down, and they could have a solid showing on that end. So I think the Kings need to be locked in pretty early on defensively, not turn the ball over to make things easier for Miami on the offensive end. And I think they'll find ways to score. I know Miami's okay on that end. Bam is really elite, and obviously Jimmy there as well. I think the Kings will find ways to score. It's just I hope they can kind of set a tone defensively early and not have too many turnovers in this one.
We were talking about the Bam versus Sabonis thing. Was that yesterday, I think? What are your guys' thoughts on where those two fall in the big man rankings? Because especially last year, they were kind of the third team all NBA center battle was pretty much between those two. And they really do play really similar styles, especially offensively. Defensively, Bam's known as a little bit better of a defender, but yeah, we know a lot of Heat fans or a couple Heat fans at least. And we've heard, there's a lot of, I don't want to say fraudulent accusations, but a lot of people say, hey, if you watch enough Bam, you'll get frustrated with him. What are your guys' thoughts on Bam and more so how it compares to Sabonis?
Yeah, I think that's definitely what a lot of people have said. It's like last year, I remember bringing it to a couple Heat people of like, the Kings would be way better if they had Bam instead of Sabonis, right? And I thought it was an easy yes. And everybody's like, I don't really know, kind of what you're saying, that there's a lot of inconsistency from Bam, specifically offensively. He can settle for that mid-range a little bit too much and just does not have the same processing speed as Domas. And obviously they're night and day on defense as well. Bam is elite there, and Domas has made progress, but still isn't a very good defender when it comes to the center position that's so important. So I think they have different skills. I think Domas is better currently. I think he's just more consistent is really what it comes down to.
It's not close.
Maybe I'm a big defense guy, but like Bam's defense is a big difference here. But you're probably right.
Hey,
not this season.
Right.
12th and off defensive rating over the past 4 games. Kings.
Yeah.
Hey, stoppers.
You know what I was just thinking about? Terry Rozier has already cooked the Kings in a different jersey.
And wasn't Charlotte on the losing streak at the time?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Safe guess.
It's like the second year in a row they've had like a
safe guess.
long losing streak, and the Kings have been the team that the Kings are often the team that helps teams break losing streaks. So again,
slump busters.
Not to be negative, but it is a little reason to be a little alarmed.
Yeah, well, got to get to a break. Based on what we're saying, I have a thought.
Okay.
And I want to see where both of you land on said thought. And Chris Watkins already knows what I'm talking about. And don't miss when we get back from the break, our Eddie Griffin ticket giveaway. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Group is not a law firm. This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try soon. Harry's is available online and in-store at a retailer near you. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/news. That's harrys.com/news. Or check us out at your local Costco for a price you can't find anywhere else. Just look for the Chrome Razor with 13 blade refills at your local Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sports and subscribe.
Joined by the Sactown Sports Insiders, Brendan Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. Yo. Having a conversation, and I want to get their thoughts on what if something not so great happens in Miami. Quick trigger for me. Quick hook for me. But first, we have our Eddie Griffin ticket giveaway. Live Nation has teamed up. Chris, you got a number yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Live Nation has teamed up with Sactown Sports to hook you up with tickets to check out comedy legend Eddie Griffin live at the Hard Rock Sacramento, April 13th. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, 916-339-1140, looking for caller number
5.
Caller number 5, De'Aaron Fox, to win a pair of tickets to check out Eddie Griffin. Caller number 5. For more information, Visit SactownSports.com, 916-339-1140. Nate's got you behind the glass, 916-339-1140. Caller number 5. Caller number 5.
Cinco.
To see Eddie Griffin, a pair of tickets to see Eddie Griffin live at the Hard Rock Sacramento, April 13th. I heard it's beautiful this time of year. All right, guys.
It's wonderful.
916-339-1140. One more time. All right, guys. So here's where I'm at with this.
Okay.
You got the back-to-back coming up with the Pacers and the Bulls. You know that the Heat are up against the wall. This thing gets out of hand early. You see what happens early in the third. You get them boys out of there. Kessler Edwards, your time to shine. That's where I'm at with this.
You're already expecting the Kings to be down by 20-plus points.
I'm just saying if it happens. This team is desperate.
I'm saying that's fine. I mean, what we've seen from the Kings early in games, so they've fallen behind. No, that there is a reason to worry about that. They have fallen behind early. I mean, the Memphis game, very underwhelming for a lot of areas. Second half, a different story. But you don't want to fall behind early to a team on their home floor. I mean, we've seen the Kings do it time and time again, not just on the road, but at home as well. But in Miami, a place where they struggle to win, struggle to play, a team that is, again, backs against the wall, 7 losses in a row. Do they want to make bigger moves like we've talked about? The Jimmy Butler scenarios are out there. If that chatter wants to cease, they have to start winning games now. And this is a game that the Kings do win. I'm feeling pretty good about where the Kings are.
Me too.
5-game winning streak, 10 games over. Indiana will be coming off a back-to-back on Friday. They have a tough game against the red-hot Knicks on Thursday. Is Tyrese Halliburton able to play back-to-backs? They've already beaten the Kings without him, so it doesn't really matter that much. But heading into a couple matchups against some games that you should have a better chance of winning, tonight's a big one. Tonight's a big one for sure.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy?
You're crazy.
Why?
I mean, they could be down like that, but I don't know about expecting.
Okay, well, let us not forget how things looked even just last game with the Kings. Okay, they messed around with the Grizzlies for. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The Kings are winning, but they're not playing dominating basketball right now.
Right. I think
it's not pretty.
There's usually like one really ugly quarter, and then there's 3 really good ones. Like that Memphis one, obviously beginning really bad. You go to the Phoenix and the Milwaukee one. The first 3 are great. The final 8 minutes or whole quarter are really tough. Like, I feel like they've been playing some of their best basketball all season. I feel like defensively, they have been pretty engaged. And when they are engaged, they're playing well on that end, specifically when they are engaged. Because obviously there's that first quarter in Memphis. And like I said, you do that against Miami early, I think you could be in for a long night.
Because they're showing up. The fans are showing up in the second quarter. So now there's actually
so in the real moment,
third quarter. Because look here, and wins are wins. Don't get me wrong. They beat the Hawks, sure. Okay, obviously the Hawks were missing Trae Young. That Warriors game, that was Malik. Okay, they almost tricked off the Warriors game. It was just a high-level rivalry game. Sure, 2 Ws. Mavericks game, probably their most complete game during this win streak. And it got a little dicey there at the end. And then last night, if the Grizzlies had at least one more actual NBA player, who knows what happens there? That's what I'm saying. Maybe you could say they're due for a good game. The Kings are. You could say that too. I'm saying this thing gets out the. We were hoping for 4-3. You could get 5-2. You got the Pacers and the Bulls on a back-to-back. Then you got to go to Cleveland. If they come out, I told Chris yesterday, if they come out white hot like those shirts they used to wear with LeBron and everyone, lose the battle, win the war. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think about like how many complete efforts the Kings have had where they've played all 4 quarters very well. Is the New Year's Eve game in Memphis the only one that they've played? I mean, they won by 30 points. Like, is that
in the whole season?
I'm trying to think of ones where they put like their foot on the gas.
Thunder
and
I was going to say an OKC game.
Yeah, those Thunder, Cleveland,
like wire to wire, like wire to wire games again. Because going to Memphis, I think what you're talking about, like the expectation of the Kings are a good team. They should be beating these teams that are shorthanded or low in the standings handedly. I think that there should be more of those as well. Again, Miami's not really the team. Like they're a team that's above 500 still. They're struggling, but they have a lot of good players. But Memphis for sure, I think that the Kings, like I'm looking at games like that, teams that have taken, they've handled business. And I'm looking at their schedule, and I mean, the Memphis game, that's one they did play very well on on New Year's Eve. But I'm trying to think if you guys have any other games that come to your mind that you want to use as a blueprint for that, because most games for the Kings are kind of that, where they fall down early or they lead early, things get close, and then maybe they squeak it out at the end. There haven't been too many of these games where, we're talking the Kings up by 27 in the third quarter, and we're like, well, this game's done. So I'm just wondering if you guys have any.
I can think of a handful of big losses, though. And maybe those are just easier to remember, but
I'm not saying I expect it. I'm just saying I don't really want to see De'Aaron in the fourth if they're down 25.
Well, you will if they are down 25. Like, this team does not give up for a long time.
Yeah.
And,
They don't.
you know, they have a reason to believe, I think. Their scoring can get them back in games pretty quick. And, you know, you guys have all heard this hundreds of times. It's a game of runs. Like, it's going to be a little back and forth throughout the course of it. But I'd like to see them get to a big lead early. I feel like typically they're going down and then fighting back, you know, or these games where they do get a big lead and then it just all goes away and one run. Make it take 2 or 3, you know, get it a 7-point run instead of an 11, 12-point run that you're giving up. Like, try to nip it in the bud a little earlier. So, you know, I think getting up early would be pretty helpful with how often they've fallen down after that first quarter.
Does a bit of this feel like it could be, you know, are we concerned about scheduling at all? We are longest road trip of the season, game 4 in Miami, you know, in the middle of the season as well. All-star breaks a week away or 2 weeks away, trade deadlines a week away. I don't want to use this word. I don't think we've used it all year long. Is there potential, like, just a schedule loss potential for this game? Not, I mean, it's tough to say, though, because they haven't played. And so usually schedule losses are like, you know, playing a back-to-back or 3 games in 4 nights or something.
For this game, I don't have that feeling personally.
I would say out of the next 3, there is one scheduled loss.
But if they lose tonight, it does kind of raise those concerns because, like, now you lose a game, and depending on how they lose it, whether if they were to lose it, if it was a blowout or a heartbreaker, like last year, they had all the controversy around Tyler Hero traveled.
Right, that was early in the year.
That was a brutal game.
I forgot about that.
To watch unfold. That's the last.
That was right after the Clay.
And if you lose tonight, then you go into the back-to-back. I mean, Indiana is playing well. They have a very good team with a very good offense. Pascal Siakam now changes things. If Tyrese plays or doesn't play, because they're limiting him on the hamstring, they're on a back-to-back. If you lose 2 of your next 3 or maybe 3, obviously things are going to – then it's time to worry. But, I mean, I'm taking it one game at a time. I feel like the Kings have been playing well. I mean, as far as have they been playing great? No. They had a poor game against Memphis, but overall their offense has been very good over the last 7-8 games. And that includes the meltdown in Phoenix and Milwaukee. The offense was great in those games. I mean, that's one thing we're looking at. The end of those games was horrible. They melted down. Even in Dallas, meltdown. But the offense has been very, very good outside of Memphis. And I think the Kings are going to do it again. Because, again, this isn't like a Miami Heat team that jumps off the page defensively. Their offense isn't very good, but their defense is still in the middle, back end of the pack of the NBA. So, on paper, this isn't a game I'm looking at as a scheduled loss. But as the road trip goes on, and if you have a tough couple of nights, I'm looking at that second half of the back-to-back where the Kings have been very bad this season. So
that's kind of the thing too. And I think I said that yesterday when we talked about it, is just, I hear what Alan's saying. Definitely, like, you know, lose the battle to win the war. But the problem is the Kings have sucked on back-to-backs. And so there's if there was some form of guarantee that resting would equal good performance, sure, I'd definitely hear it out. But just without how unreliable they've been on a night-to-night basis, it's like, hey, go ahead and sit the second half of Miami and then watch that lead to the worst first half of basketball you've ever seen in the next game.
Well, the good thing is the Kings right now, they're on 1 day of rest. That's where they're at their best. They're 16-11. 16-11 on 1 day of rest.
That's so broke.
They're 4-0 on 3+ days rest, which they had a recent 3-day break. 0 days rest, as we know, they are 2-4 on the second night of back-to-backs. And they're on a 2-game winning streak on back-to-backs. So they started on 4.
Look, we'll see what happens. I understand the opposite thought process there because they have not been great at back-to-backs. The only one they won was with the 2 worst teams in the league. If you're able to get this one done, sure, obviously just keep rolling. If you don't get this one done, so now you're at 3-1 on the road trip. It's very simple. You have 3 more games to figure out if you are a 4-3 team or a 5-2 team. And we know if you come back 5-2, which is very important because we're calling February National Nugget Month because the Kings play the Nuggets 3 times in 1 month. They get back home. They get the Pistons, then they get the Nuggets, then they go to Thunder. And the Thunder, you know they don't want to lose to them 3 times in a row. They go to the Suns, who have fallen back off a cliff. Then they go back on Valentine's Day to Denver to take on the Nuggets. So I get what everybody's saying. I'm not saying to sell the game. I'm just saying if the Heat come out and they're just in fuego, no pun intended, you gotta figure it out. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, playing a fun game, AI Magic, as Chris Watkins has coined the term with the guys, with the Sactown Sports Kings insiders when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
For the second straight week, the 49ers rally to win another playoff game.
Here's the snap. It's down. Jake Moody right down the middle. The 49ers have the lead.
The 49ers are just one more win away from hoisting the Lombardi Trophy.
Throws and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Catch every thrilling moment of Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
At Elk Grove Kia, we get it. Life happens. We believe in second chances. Have repos, late payments, or faced bankruptcy? No problem. Our finance department is top-notch and ready to make miracles happen. No need to worry about money down. At Elk Grove Kia, you can drive away today with $0 out of pocket. Visit us at Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Your second chance to drive the car of your dreams is just a visit away. Elk Grove Kia, where we turn obstacles into opportunities. Dare to drive differently.
Elk Grove Kia. If you think getting hurt in an accident is bad, wait until you deal with the aftermath. Even what seems like a small accident can have devastating consequences to your health, employment, finances, and family. All this can be avoided by getting the right help and calling the Scranton Law Firm. Since 1973, we've collected $500 million for our clients and helped thousands of people just like you. Call us at 1-800-707-0707 or ScrantonLawFirm.com.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration, February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
All right. Nate Littlefield, you're up. Last segment of our Kings Roundtable. We're going to have some fun here with Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez, our Sactown Sports Kings insiders. Nate, the floor is yours.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's called AI Magic, coined
Getting
by
ready to leave.
Chris
Happy
Watkins.
to be here. Happy to be here.
Getting ready to
Thanks
leave.
for having me.
Welcome to the AI Magic Show. That's what I meant. So basically, I got some tweets here. Not going to tell you how many. Not going to tell you what's real and what isn't until after I read the tweet, after we have our guesses. But Magic Johnson's notorious for tweeting nothing, essentially, right? Yes. He has these tweets with words, but he's not saying anything. So what we're going to do here is I've fed Chat GPT some prompts for Magic Johnson tweets, and we're going to have to guess. And I've also found some that are real on some lists that, Magic Johnson's worst tweets of all time, stuff like that. And we're going to figure out which ones are real and which ones are AI generated. So
just a little context here, just so everyone knows. We're doing this because Magic said this thing about the 65 games. He said fans were upset after spending money to see their favorite players not play. So my friend Adam Silver had to take action and implement a new rule. Good for the league, local TV partners, sponsors, the NBA, and the fans.
Yeah, good friend Adam Silver. Good they're buddies. Yeah, that's good. All right. So
that's the context of what we're working with.
We're going to start. I'm just going to read these tweets to you, and then maybe you guys can decide as a collective or individually if there's some debate.
How do we want to do it?
We're doing it one at a time?
Let's come to an agreement as a table.
Okay. Let's be a so team
jury.
effort. I like that. Yeah, all right.
Let's be a jury.
We're going to start here. Can't believe it's finally here. Game 1 of the #NBA Finals. The intensity is through the roof, and I can't wait to see both the Warriors and Cavs leave it all on the court. They will be scoring, expecting greatness, unforgettable moments, and a battle for the ages. Who's your pick tonight?
That's got to be a tweet.
That's got to be there will be. He had me until there will be scoring.
I don't think he puts hashtag.
Yeah, there will be scoring.
And he says, "Who
the
you got
in
the game tonight?"
I'll swing to
Is
your
the
guys'
hashtag
side.
believable?
The hashtag makes me.
This is great
because this
debate.
is Cavs Warriors. We're talking 2016
Hashtags
ish.
were hot.
I don't think this
hashtags
is real.
were hot, especially
I don't think
for
it's real.
I'm gonna guess no.
We're
for now.
50-50. Maybe we'll just do
We'll just
individuals.
go half.
Me and Frank here saying-
collective.
There's no way. We're
collective.
split. It's going to take too
We're
long.
we're splitting. We're splitting.
Okay, so what? So
and
Alan and
Frankie are
Brendan
no.
are.
We're a no.
You are AI,
Yep.
Yes.
and then okay,
Me and Frank are magic.
it's an AI tweet.
Let's go.
It's an AI
I
tweet.
told you.
This is gonna be really hard.
He doesn't
All
put
right.
hashtag.
That was an
really
AI
hard.
It's gonna be really easy.
The there will be scoring. That's a little bit too stupid. That's really stupid.
But he would do that though.
He would.
There will be scoring is crazy to say.
It is
To an
tough.
NBA Hall of Famer to say there will be points.
But there will be.
That's what he does.
There will be.
That's what he does.
I mean, I was
All
on the
right.
side of it being real. So
Next.
All right. Savoring the sweet victory of life.
oh my
No, there's no way.
Savoring the sweet victory of life. Just like biting into my favorite fruit, the legendary mango.
Oh, shut up, bro.
Bursting with flavor and memories. It's the perfect reminder to enjoy the simple pleasures.
No, this is real.
That's
This is
real. That
1000%
has to be real.
It's too specific.
It's
Why would
too-
someone make it up?
AI wouldn't
Talking
make
about mango.
up.
It's
yeah,
too
yeah.
fake
They wouldn't
to be real.
search mango.
I think we're going real.
It's real.
Real.
We're going real?
It
Yeah.
has to be.
That's AI generated.
Why are we talking about mangoes?
I'm throwing.
All right.
Why are we talking about mangoes?
Getting my skinny pop ready for Milwaukee versus Toronto. I think I'm going with sea salt and pepper.
It's probably being an
Is
ad.
it an
That's
ad?
real.
It's hashtag ad. at
There's
the
no
end.
hashtag ad.
Ooh, I don't know.
It's real.
There's
It's
no
real.
hashtag
I just gotta
ad.
ride with real.
Now I'm going to say AI.
I'm gonna go real. You wouldn't give us 3 AI in a row.
Yeah,
dude,
look,
you gotta
I
go
wouldn't do
hashtag.
that.
You're not
I
that
wouldn't do that.
You gotta go
right?
hashtag ad.
No,
going
that would
real.
be crazy to do 3 AIs in a row. Okay, so where are we at?
I'm going real because I am
Real.
really hoping
Real.
that just is Magic Johnson even a real person? Like
I'm saying fake.
This is real. This one's real. This one's real.
Thank you.
All right.
Forgot the hashtag ad.
Yeah, that's honestly what it was. I was like, there's no way Magic would have forgotten hashtag.
He probably
Okay.
owns part of
One more food one. This is the last food one.
it. I didn't even know.
I didn't know we were doing categories.
food for 200.
Cheering on the Warriors and savoring the flavor courtside. Nothing like a classic hot dog while watching the team light it up.
No, this is
Amazing
no way.
plays, amazing plays, and delicious bites.
No.
The perfect combo.
There's no way. There's no way.
There's no way.
That's like a
perfect
chip
combo.
commercial.
Yeah,
Some of the script
so-
writer. I'm going to say real. Forget it. I was
Okay,
gonna say real.
so Chris is the only real one.
I think I'm the only real
I'll
one.
go real.
Okay, all right.
No,
Screw it.
It's not real.
It's AI.
Okay.
That one's AI. That one's
Delicious
so funny.
bites.
Delicious.
The perfect combo.
Amazing
Totino's pizza rolls.
All right, here we go. Excited to witness the incredible talent and determination on the court tonight. Every game is a chance to inspire and be inspired. Let's bring the passion and energy.
Real.
That's real. There's nothing outlandish in that.
That's just a
But he's not. But normally he
There's
talks
nothing
about. He's
specific.
not talking about.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
classic Magic.
I'm gonna say AI.
Alan,
I think it's AI.
I think you're right. It's AI.
Yeah, he's not
Let's
talking
go.
about
All right.
anything.
We got
Be
a few-
player name or something.
few more here for you
I have
guys.
way too much faith in Magic.
Yeah, I do too. I've not gotten a single one right, by the way.
Congratulations to LeBron James on the historic milestone of most all-star selections in NBA history, comma, with 20.
Comma.
I'm gonna let someone else answer first.
I'm going to say
At
real.
first I said
I'll go
real, but
real.
it's real.
I'm
I
saying
think the
real,
way you
everyone.
pointed out the comma means it was written by a real person.
It's real.
Not an AI.
It's real.
Okay.
Saying AI doesn't know.
So we're all on the real. Are we all taking one side here?
I'll take real.
Real.
We're all real.
Well, you're all right. Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah.
The only way San Antonio or Miami don't win the championship is if neither team makes the finals.
That's real. Didn't he actually tweet that?
I'm going to read this one more time so everyone can process this. The only way San Antonio or Miami don't win the championship is if neither team makes the finals.
I'm pretty sure I remember that tweet. If it's not real, he tweeted something very similar to that.
I'm riding with
going
Frankie.
real.
Real.
I
Going
hope
real.
That's real.
That is real.
Yeah.
That's a real tweet from Magic Johnson.
I remember that one.
Wow.
No
That's
older.
insane.
All right, last one.
Oh, my God.
To add to the Lakers' woes, we went 4 for 30 from the three-point line and turned the ball over 22 times. It was a disappointing home loss for Lakers fans.
That's real. I'll go real.
That's real. That's real.
I've been wrong so much. I'm just gonna say AI because I feel like it's real, which means it's probably
Got
wrong.
one stat in there. It's
4
real.
of 30 and 22 turnovers.
One very boring stat.
Yep, it's
like
real.
the most boring stat.
Yeah, I guess it's gotta be real then.
real.
You think real?
I'm saying fake.
I'm sticking with fake, but I feel like it's probably real.
Frankie, you got to go with your gut. It's real.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's
Yep,
it.
That's right.
Do we
Great
have
game.
do we have a favorite? Is it the championship?
The finals one is
I like the
hilarious.
hot dog one a lot.
I can't even remember which one's real, which one's
The
fake
mango
anymore.
one was crazy.
Delicious bites.
The mango one, the legendary mango, bursting with flavor and memories.
Was that one real?
That one's AI.
Okay, I was like,
Dude.
Memories.
All right, guys, before we get you out of here, what do the Kings do tonight? Do they keep that losing streak going for the Heat and extend their winning streak? Brendan, you go first.
It's a dub. It's a dub. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think ultimately the Kings are going to have some tough defensive moments, but for the most part, we'll do a better job taking care of the ball. Miami will struggle to score. I think I'm going to go, they keep them below. We'll go below 105. They'll keep Miami below 105 and get a win.
Okay. That's because Jimmy Butler can't shoot.
I'm expecting 40% from 3 this year, by the way.
He makes them when he needs to.
I'm expecting a win as well. I think it's going to be a very good test for the Kings. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. It's a matchup that I feel like I'm looking at that I haven't really seen a matchup like this where I feel like the Kings are playing a team that, again, taking into account the losing streak, I want to say on the same level. I know that they're one game over 500, but the fact that they are 7 games under and they have a new roster, no Duncan Robinson tonight, who has been playing very well this year. I'm not sure how much that will impact the game, but it's going to be a battle. So I'm excited to see. I think the Kings have a very good chance to pull out a win, but the Kings are a mixed bag. We don't know. I think by the end of the first quarter, we'll know which Kings team we're probably going to get because you just never know. But I'm expecting to win.
There you go. Well, they turned it on in certain spots with, when they were in Detroit, so they can evolve.
Detroit and the Grizzlies.
I hear you.
You can't get away with it against, teams like the Heat or teams that are not 20 games under 500.
2 W's. Thank you, fellas. As always, Brendan Nunes, Frankie Cardicelli. Check them out on social media. Check them out on SactownSports.com. Always new pieces coming out. And we will talk to you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Can't wait for the next edition of AI Magic.
Oh, yeah.
I can. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's not going to be as mild for this Wednesday in the forecast. Expect highs in the low 60s with rain developing late in the afternoon and through the early evening. Rain could be heavy at times and winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Printer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Government Mule. Live in concert. 30 years strong tour. Friday, February 16th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Government Mule with special guest Lucas Nelson and POTR. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. New album, Peace Like a River, is in stores now. Don't miss Government Mule live.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Thank you again to Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez, our Sactown Sports Kings insiders. Be sure to check out everything they got going on SactownSports.com and on their socials. Is that what you say? I just say socials.
It's a lot easier that way. It's
Right,
so
and social media platforms.
There's also obviously there's 30 different social apps that you can use. And, most of the time, are you somebody who has all of your social profiles as the same username too?
No.
Because I know that's just a nightmare. People will buy off, handles and things like that.
Yeah. I think I do now. I think it's all the same everywhere. It's Stiles Files everywhere.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it becomes a nightmare when it's hey, follow me on Twitter at C Watkins and on Instagram at Chris _W _ Atkins. It's a nightmare.
You can't do that. Right. It's just not a good look.
Yeah. Some sort of flow. You got to have some sort of, okay, your name's this. Okay. I can figure that out.
Yeah. So as we get into prop talk, after Sabonis's career night, I want you to guess what nicely done. I want you to guess what his rebounds are set at tonight.
So what, he had 26 the last game, right? Mm-hmm. Is that right? insane.
Going up against Bam.
He's averaging 13 a game right now for the entirety of the season. Going against Bam, let's say 12 and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe 12.
It depends on which one you're looking at. It's set at, I have one at 13.
Yeah. So, but it's just crazy because that's literally that is average for him. That's an average night.
Some places don't do the even numbers. Some
right.
places
so
do.
you have to pick one.
So I would imagine if this is at 13, the others are at
12 and a half probably. Yeah, and that's really the line. But that's the crazy thing about the lines that they make is that half is so huge because it's a difference of get 13 and you win, or no, you have to get 14.
Exactly.
And it's a push is one thing, but to have to get 14, it's just a different thing that you're being asked to do. So I don't love that number.
I'll probably stay away.
That's
from
tough.
It.
That's a tough one.
I'll probably stay away from it. Yeah, we have. Let's see, as we get to some of the others. That's not my pick. I just wanted to check after somebody has a career.
I have actually a couple.
Go ahead.
I have 3, and they're all based on Sabonis, and I can only pick one unless I know a couple sites would let you do same game parlays or whatever they're called.
Not the same player.
I have
maybe.
no idea.
Actually,
I have literally no idea.
Days, yeah.
Maybe just for our prop talk segment we can do it. But anyways, you mentioned Sabonis rebounds. I saw Sabonis and Bam combined rebounds 24. To me, that's easy. That's the one I'm looking for.
That's
because
light work.
Sabonis can get 13 if he's expected to get 13. I mean, that's Bam 11. That's Sabonis. We've seen Sabonis get tons. So I would do the double. I would try and combo those two. I also see this one. I'm actually going under Sabonis 3 offensive rebounds at 3
because of Bam.
That's high. 3 is high. I would go under, and just looking at how many offensive rebounds he typically
had
grabs.
6 in the career day.
Yeah, and I mean that's a career day. And then if you look at the others, it's just again, it's one of those where the number is at 3, so you're actually saying he has to get 4 offensive rebounds, and at least in his 5 games, the only time he's gotten over 3 was that 6 rebound game. So I would go under on there. And then Sabonis, I found this 0.5 3-pointers made. We've seen Sabonis hit some threes.
He's going to take maybe 2 all game, maybe 1.
He'll take a second if he makes the first usually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have Draymond in that same conversation, right? Do you?
Yeah.
It's all that's Nate's.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm taking out of Nate's playbook.
So you're sticking with that combo.
I'll stick with the combo, the rebounding combo at 24.
Okay. I like that.
Bam
and you're
Sabonis
smashing that over.
Yeah. Okay. I'm. This guy just keeps dropping, so you could be continuing to lose, but at some point it's going to turn around. Malik Monk is down to 10.5 points.
What?
You gotta think he gets above that. Nick Town.
It was 12.5 last time. I have it written down.
If anyone's going to have the Miami flu, though, is it Malik?
That is. Look, I'm not
is he
here
trying to show out.
I'm not here to accuse players, but
he's going to be trying to do
for the baddies.
That when he tried, when he went behind the back and behind the back to the same hand, that was insane. And then proceeded to throw the basketball away. Nick Town thinks that Malik will pick it up as well. He's got Malik as his dog, but I'm going Malik Monk over 10.5 points. Nate, what you got?
It's up in the air for me. Do I want to keep riding this all or nothing bet?
I love it.
There's one Bam Adebayo half block shot, so he gets a block or not. That seems to be.
That sounds so easy.
I mean, in my opinion, that seems to be a. Oh, it was quiet.
Oh, that was so
quiet.
quiet.
Was a quiet lock. So a quiet lock.
Right. Not many people are hearing it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
Yeah. But I think I need to get off this streak while it's hot. I could be thinking too much. I like Kevin Huerter 1.5 threes made. So taking 2 threes for Kevin Huerter?
You would think he's taking at least 2.
And he's been playing well.
He's been playing a lot, so I like that.
Yeah, like you said, you forgot Duarte's even on the team. So
what's that got to? Oh, because he was playing for.
Yeah,
he was
taking
starting,
his minutes. So.
Yeah. So all right, we have combined rebounds for Chris over 1.5 threes for Nate and
this is the
Kevin
second
Huerter.
time Nate's gone with Kevin Huerter.
Yes, and I am taking.
Because I took the half block for him as well.
Right.
Come on,
which
Malik.
he nailed, by the way.
Yeah.
We didn't get a time.
Early.
We didn't get time to give Nate his flowers for nailing the
that
Kevin
Keegan
Herter block.
Or with the Kevin Herter block?
Kevin Herter.
Kevin Herter,
block.
but I also had the Keegan dunk.
Right.
Yes, you did.
So those are my two
Locks.
that have put me in the spotlight.
All right, so we have Alan Stiles, Malik Monk over 10.5 points. We have Nate with Kevin Herter over 1.5 threes made, and I have Sabonis and Bam rebounds over 24.
What do we think is the biggest lock of this one, of us three?
I really like both of your guys' seem easy. I would probably, if I were going for the safest, I'd probably take Allen's. Malik at 10.5 is like, that's an okay. That's a below average. No, I mean, no, not his
he's
literal
only been
average,
benched.
but
He's only been benched once. Kevin Herter.
Yeah,
we you
just don't know.
You got to ride Coach Mike Brown, and if Kevin Herter isn't doing some of these other things, he might not get back on the floor.
Yeah,
lock it in
and lock it out. All right, dog segment. Let's get it.
Arf. Last time Alan had Keegan, Nate took Malik, I took Sabonis.
Oops.
Yeah,
I missed on that one.
That's not your bad. It's not your fault.
Yeah. I will take, obviously, I took Malik in the props. De'Aaron Fox, look, all-star. Maybe I'm going a little bit early because you said the rest of the all-stars are going to get announced soon, right?
Thursday.
So Thursday.
Yeah. But this is the last game they play until it's announced. I believe it's already been selected, but you can show out if you want.
Sure, but it's got to be announced for that. So I won't go De'Aaron. Oh, my goodness.
It's tough.
Yeah, I just think I'm going to ride my pick, and I'm going to go with Malik Monk. He had a bad game last game, 3 turnovers. Yeah. He's been off, even going back to the Warrior game where he missed the 2 free throws. He has not gotten back into the good graces, per se, or he's not played as up to the level that we know he can. So I'm going with Malik Monk as my dog tonight.
I like it. I mean, it's really tough to try and figure out where the Kings have the clear advantage here. You know what? I'll go De'Aaron Fox. Why not? I'll take the dog that you wanted to do. Going against Terry Rozier. We've seen that movie before.
He cooked somebody a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It was Kevin Durant.
It was KD.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he got him real bad. De'Aaron kind of, in a way, I mean, in my opinion at least, kind of took last game off a bit against Memphis. Looked like he was sleepwalking. Want to see him bring it tonight against Miami. He's had a couple good moments against Miami in the past in Miami. So let's just take De'Aaron here, just off of blind faith. Really, is all it is.
Nate,
man, it's a tough one. But I think I'm going to go with a bench guy again. I'm going to go back onto that train and take Trey Lyles.
Oh,
yeah. I want to see, and I'm not even looking for like a big night. I'm just looking for maybe like what I'm looking for from Kevin Herter tonight. 2 threes. Yeah. 2 threes, maybe an easy layup, maybe an important rebound that pops out to him, and he gets an assist to, I don't know, Malik for a 3 at a critical point in the game. Yep. Things always struggle with Miami. So let's locking in Trey Lyles.
Lock it in. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're off the Harrison Barnes train. We think he's come back to earth.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was fun while it lasted.
It sure was.
Maybe Harrison picks it back up. I'm pretty sure he won't have the Miami flu. That's one guy I feel confident in.
They really don't have any centers either. So, Trey Lyles might get some backup center minutes today.
Alex Len.
There you go.
Best backup in the league.
Who knows?
Got to get to a break. When we get back, crossover with the Drive Guy. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, don't you soft on the party. Let's supposed to roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The cream is always soft. It's our party vibe. It's cushion and things for when chicks feel fly. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the Go with Sherman.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I could not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought him. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Whitey Gleason, one half of the Drive Guys, joins us for...
You don't understand. He just gave me all the answers. I shouldn't have said that.
Good.
I told him myself.
You're going to need it as you are 0-1. Wow. Me. And honestly, I don't know how I pulled that off. Yeah, Whitey Gleason joining us. Short situation for you, Whitey, with the game at 4:30.
Oh, gosh.
Well, you know me. Chris knows. I'll go in another room. I'll do the rest of the show.
Just get your work in.
Yeah. Get my reps in. So, yeah.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alan, come on.
Just talks to nobody.
That's what 80% of podcasters are doing. Just talking to themselves.
Yeah, not to get their reps in, though.
Well, yeah, they don't think that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly right.
Listening. All right.
I will.
Got to keep the mind sharp.
Yeah, you do.
I hate that Kittle audio, by the way. I heard you say that they had us in the first half. Kittle being way too excited about it. That's right. I can't wait till we win. I know we're down by 20 right now, but this joke's going to be sick.
I love it. All right, Whitey, what is it today?
Football feud. How are you guys?
Great.
Chris made a bounce back.
I don't feel good about today.
The A's lid today, too.
Yeah, I don't feel good about today. Did you see our situation with the A's and the rumblings? Did you see
Which
that?
rumblings are we talking about?
The possibility of the A's not being a team between 2025 and 2028.
Not being a team?
Yeah. Then they would come back once the Vegas.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah. Check it out. It's on YouTube. Sactown Sports.
Where'd that come
YouTube
from?
channel. What sources? It's just being floated around. It probably won't happen.
Okay. That would cause some scheduling issues, but okay.
Definitely would.
Frankie wouldn't get to see his Yankees.
Yeah. And they would do, if they did that, baseball, they'll do anything for Fisher.
You got to get that.
What does he have on them?
It's crazy. He's got to have something.
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate.
Right.
All right, Alan. All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Remember, you got to shout your name to buzz in here. Mm-hmm. All right, I have the top 6 on the board. Name the quarterback who has completed the most career passes. Completed the most career passes in Super Bowl play.
Super Bowl play. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Alan.
Yes, Alan.
I was.
I thought you. I know. Alan.
It's got Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's the number one.
Now after this.
Way to go.
Things get spicy.
Chris is like, yeah, I got number 1.
I'm just going based on who
Why am I
went,
so
who
bad
went
at
to the
this?
most.
Okay,
So,
so
Brady.
that's the number one
That's
answer.
definitely
You want
what
to
you
pass
should
or you want to play? You know how that
I'll
works.
keep going.
Yes.
Ooh,
I'll
all
keep
right.
going.
Please,
I know
I don't
I don't
deserve
get
it.
You got to run the board then, you know.
Yes,
All
I
right.
know. So,
277 Super Bowl completions for Tom Brady.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana survey says, bing!
Okay, so those are the
tied
two.
for third, yes, with 83.
This is where things get a little dicey here. All right. So if he's third, I'm going based on who got the
I'm
rings.
just going to draw the squares that I could.
This is where things get a little dicey.
I might need them. Yeah.
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman.
Great guess.
Survey says he is actually 8th.
Okay.
Wow. So that's strike one. He had 56.
I'm getting nervous.
John Elway.
John Elway. Survey says number 6 is John
Wow,
Elway with
nice.
76.
That was a clutch one.
Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
real clutch.
Okay,
You're
so
halfway
that's
home.
Halfway home.
You got Brady at 1. You got Montana tied for 3rd. And you got Elway at 6. Only one strike against you. That was my big Troy Aikman.
Yeah. This is a guy that I know went to. It's really just a matter of who went to the most. So Big Ben.
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
I won.
Oh, Chris liked that
my
one.
stump card.
Show me Big Ben.
Thank God.
Okay.
He's 10th with 55.
Okay.
Just one fewer than Aikman.
It's got to go throwback here.
Oh my
Roger
gosh.
Staubach.
Roger who? What'd you say? What is it?
Staubach.
Staubach?
Staubach.
Roger Staubach?
Yeah.
You say Starbucks?
Starbucks. Latte.
All right, Roger Staubach. If
Completed
it's
a
up
latte
there,
passes.
your march continues. If it's not, then you would strike out. Control the board would go to Chris.
Oh,
Roger Staubach, or Roger Starbucks, as he's known today. Survey says, number 8 was 61. So
Okay.
could still work out for you, of course, Alan. So there you go.
Alan, it's probably going to work out for you. I'm going to let you.
Number 1 is Tom Brady, looking for the quarterbacks who completed the most career passes in the Super Bowl. Brady's 1. Montana is tied for 3rd. Elway is 6th. We know it's not Roger the Dodger. We know it's not Aikman. We know it's not Big Ben Roethlisberger.
I felt good about my
This
performance.
there's an obvious one that I feel like isn't being.
I'm just going to throw this name out there.
Throw it. Maybe it'll be completed.
Maybe. Hopefully. I don't think he has enough completions, but we haven't said Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough appearances. That's the only thing.
He's played it before.
You want Peyton or Eli? Which Manning do you want to?
We'll go Peyton.
Peyton Manning. All right. Number 6 on the list, as I mentioned, was Elway. Number 5, Jim Kelly with 81.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess
Ooh.
3 straight, right? Yeah.
Four.
You said it, so now Chris can't guess that name.
Well,
I only get one
he's either
guess.
going to win or lose.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
So I got it.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh.
Well, now I really hope he
thought,
doesn't get it.
Also tied with Joe Montana, who you mentioned, with 83 is Kurt Warner.
Whoa.
So there's one name left there, second
And it's
all
the
time.
number 2.
Super Bowl completions. If it's Peyton, Chris wins. If it's not, Alan wins. Survey says Peyton Manning.
Nice.
103. Number 2 on the list.
Nice.
For 0.5 seconds, I almost switched to Eli. I was like, hey.
I'm not allowed to say that, so it's kind of a giveaway.
Where was Mahomes on that list?
He is
Great
number
question.
7th with 73.
Gotcha. Right on the outside.
So how close is he to breaking that top 6?
He's just 3 short of Elway.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So reasonably, where's the mark where he might reach here after this game?
Well, with Steve Wilkes' defense, he's going to complete, maybe 9 passes this
Maybe.
game. We get up to 82.
Being generous, Whitey.
I mean, maybe, you know,
Steve Wilkes
late in the game,
defense.
I'm
when
mad
they're
about
down
Peyton.
35 and then just let them throw underneath.
Peyton's a tough one.
Where'd he go?
How many
Said
times
it
has he
came.
been? You said 4, Nate? Is it?
4, yeah, 2 with each team. Got crushed
He got
with the Bronx,
crushed, right.
and then he barely threw,
He barely
in
threw,
that
that's
other
what I was
game
thinking,
because he
yeah.
could barely throw. And then he was beaten by the Saints, and then he beat
There's Saints,
Steelers,
Seahawks,
right?
and
I was shocked Big Ben's not in there. That was the one
only
where I
went
was
to
like, he's not going to get
2,
it.
didn't he?
He went to 3 and 1. 2,
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
1,
yeah.
2?
You're
He
right.
didn't throw that much then.
I guess
So,
not.
I guess.
Yeah.
Although they threw a lot, I think, in that Arizona game. But anyway,
That's
thank you
frustrating.
guys. Well
Oh,
done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nah.
Well, throwing it back to you, Whitey, with the
Exhausted now.
with the Kings taking on the Miami Heat. Who's your
Miami.
dog of the game tonight?
It's my dog. He's always my dog all year long. I'm gonna ride with my dog, Keon Ellis.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Can I?
Not even been the rotation.
Whitey, are you familiar with Magic Johnson's tweets? Did you hear the segment earlier?
No, I know he has a tendency to kind of tweet the obvious, but I don't know about his recent tweets. What he's been up to.
Well, he sends some tweets really that just have no rhyme or reason, pretty much. They're kind of just they're messy, and I could grab some here if you want to tell the difference. We played a game where I had an AI generate Magic Johnson tweets.
I did hear some of that.
Yeah, you have to tell the difference between the real tweets and the fake tweets. Are you interested in that?
I'm on the Nate show now.
Well, Nate, if you have some that we haven't read yet, you can.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think the listening audience will.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a bad bit.
No,
it's
a good
great
bit.
It's him
It's
eating.
not worth
It's
a
about him
repeat.
eating mangoes and hot dogs and stuff. It's a lot of snacks.
Okay, I heard something about the hot dogs. I did hear you
Let's
guys.
not do the mango one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I have a question for you that the morning show actually brought up yesterday. I'm curious. I don't necessarily think he's on the official list yet, but there's a lot of talk, and maybe it's more of a summer conversation about Kings Mount Rushmore, and if Domantas Sabonis and Fox are making that conversation or entering that conversation, and specifically with Sabonis too, more so how he ranks with the likes of Chris Webber. How do you feel like that comparison falls? Do you think that there is a good I mean, would you be willing to say after 2 years or 2.5 years of Sabonis that he realistically does have a good shot of possibly kicking Chris Webber off that Mount Rushmore?
I would think that, in my opinion, they just have to make the playoffs at least one more time.
Yeah.
Because that's still a pretty high standard here. And the other thing is, as far as Sabonis and Webber, because Webber was phenomenal.
Ridiculous.
I go back to our, mutual friend. I kind of,
Sure.
Rely on his
Yes.
judgment on this a lot. Jerry says Webber was a better player, but Sabonis, like last year and into this year, has been every bit, if not more, effective. He's not as talented as Webber,
right?
But the way he's played the last year, I mean, Webber never led the league in rebounding.
Sure.
So
right.
Yeah, but you got to get in the playoffs at least one more year.
Right, and that would be the tough thing about. Yeah, it's probably also not Chris Webber's not up next to get off of that list. There's a couple,
that's probably
he's
true,
probably
too.
sitting at the top pretty comfortably. So I don't know, just
He
something
kinda
I saw
put
a
this
lot
team
of
on
people
the map in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Many years. Yeah.
That'll be a great conversation once we see what the Kings do in the rest of this season, and that starts tonight against the Heat, trying to keep the Heat's losing streak going and extend their winning streak. Thank you to our guys, Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez. Nate Littlefield behind the glass, thank you very much. Chris Watkins, Alan Stiles. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the Miami beam.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Wednesday in South Beach.
Herder with a wraparound